Welcome back, Endgame fam. We're here to talk starts it, waiver, trade, whatever you got, throw it at us. We're here to help you fantasy football. That is our end game, to help you win. That's what we're here for. We're week 5, not too far away because about 24 hours we'll have our first game. Bears at the Commanders. But practice has been starting for some teams. Injury reports starting to kind of trickle in. And the big news is the guys who have not played yet this season. So let's talk about what we're going to do if we've been waiting for this week, first 4 weeks, to get clearance from guys like JT and Cooper Kupp. So ironic, Chris, that the two guys who haven't played were pretty much unanimous number 1 and number 2 overall picks last year, right? JT was the number 1 running back in probably most formats, the number 1 overall pick, and Cooper Kupp was like, I mean, coming off that record season, the for sure number 1 receiver for the most part. So I know a lot of people are tempted. Well, if they're active, put them in your lineup. Is it that simple?
I think for JT, it is that simple for me because, I mean, unless you just have a fantastic running back room, which most of us don't. Like I have leagues where literally, like, I have Rachaad White and Jerome Ford. They're both on bye, and then I have one other good running back, and then I have JT on pup, and I'm like, if JT plays this week, I'm playing him. Like, there's nobody on waiver wire I'm going to go out pick up to put in over JT if he plays. I mean, it's the Titans, but still, it's Jonathan Taylor. We're talking about one of the best running backs in the game when he's healthy, and unlike Kupp, who's coming back from a hamstring injury that required a stint on the IR, I don't believe JT required a stint on the pup. I believe JT could have played week 1. I believe he was ready to play week 1, and they put him on the pup, because he wanted this trade, because they're going to try to trade him or whatever. So I feel like JT is fully healthy. Like, there's no risk here with JT. Like, is he going to re-aggravate the hamstring or the ankle? Like, no, I think JT was fine week 1. Kupp is a little tougher because, again, he is coming off the hamstring injury. You don't know, like, if he's going to play all the snaps. I would have to think, like, if they do play him, they feel that he's good to go, because that's what it sounds like, right? Like, what we're hearing from the Rams with Kupp so far is like, we want to make sure he's like, we don't want to play him if he's only 80 to 90%. We want to wait till he's 100%. So I think you got to kind of trust the Rams. Like, hey, we're not going to throw him out there for 30% of the snaps as a decoy, you know what I mean, and risk re-injury. So I think if Kupp plays, I mean, again, unless you just have 3 really good, or 2 or 3, however many you start, really good receivers, I think for the most part you're playing these guys. I mean, these are like 2 of the best players at their position on the world, on the planet. Like, we're not talking about, some just decent guys here. So I kind of think if they play, I'm playing them. I'm playing.
I mean, as always, it depends, right? Who your other options you got, whatever. But like you said, at running back, it's like, come on. I mean, Eckler's still not playing. Even if he was back, they're on bye. Barkley has been playing. Chubb and Dobbins is gone. There's so many running backs that are hurt. You've been waiting on JT. You're probably just throwing him in your lineup. I'm almost feeling, the more I think about it, kind of the opposite here, though, is I would be worried with JT because not just that, Zach Moss is there, whatever, like, not worried about Zach Moss long term, but I think that they weren't going to plan to throw him in there and just give him all the run. They're going to ease him kind of back into it. This is probably going to be first game back, kind of 50-50. And then if you look at it, really the matchup, what we've been saying every week, Tennessee, one of the best run defenses out there. They've been stifling running backs. I mean, there's no guarantee JT first game this season isn't going to look like Josh Jacobs did after not playing all offseason, just look rusty and be bad. Got to remember, even against some bad defenses, I want to say, right, didn't the Raiders play Denver already? They played them the first week of the season, I think, didn't they?
But I mean, Jacobs has been bad for 4 weeks. Like, Jacobs was not good last week. He put up a ton of fantasy points, but he had 8 catches. He still only ran for like 58 yards on 17 carries against the Chargers. I mean, Jacobs
Yeah,
has
that's what
just
I'm
been flat.
saying. I
Jacobs has
mean,
just been flat bad this year.
we've seen, but that's kind of my point. Like the Denver defense has been ridiculously bad, and Josh Jacobs only ran for 48 yards against them because he's like, oh, I'm rusty. I didn't, I was holding out. I didn't play all training camp and okay. I think we might get the same thing. Why wouldn't we get the same thing for JT? He hasn't been playing. He's been sitting out. He's probably going to be rusty now going against one of the top run defenses in the NFL and probably splitting carries with Zach Moss. Like, I don't think I would want to risk JT if he's playing. Cooper Kupp, I don't expect him. I'll just say that. I just don't think he will play this week because it doesn't sound like he's 100% and they want him to be 100%. But if he does play, it's probably because they feel that he's close enough to 100%. So why not play him? Because as soon as he steps on the field, Matt Stafford, they talk about the new hot analytic this year, right? His first read targets.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know what's second read targets and third read targets because Stafford is going to be, where's Cooper Kupp? All right, is Cooper Kupp open now? Okay, what about now? Like, he's the first, second, and third read. So if Kupp plays, I think you have to play him. JT, I think this week I wouldn't, unless you're just really bad off. Like you said, if your other options are like Rashawn Johnson or, Matt Breida, okay, well, in that case, just go for it. So we'll see what happens with these guys. As always, you got to monitor the practice reports. I even said, I'm not going to buy into any of the whatever the media and the coaches say because it always it's like big misdirection. Yeah. I know it's funny. I found the other day though on Twitter, there's some new-ish kind of account. It's called, I can't remember what it's exactly called, a Coach Speak Analyzer or something like that. Have you seen that? Coach Speak Analyzer. So it gives each head coach a rating of how accurate what they say is based on injuries and start sit and stuff. And Sean McVay was like 80% or something. Like, he's not a guy who will BS usually. Like Mike McDaniel was like 80 or 90%. And then some guys were like 40%. It's like everything they say is just take it with a grain of salt. So
yeah.
If McVay is saying he'll play and he is active, I'm playing Kupp. JT is just a whole more complicated situation too. And he's like, I don't want to play for the Colts. I mean, is he gonna be running hard, like to show teams like, hey, look what I am, I'm, trade for me? Or is he gonna be like, I'm not gonna give this team my all. I'm just gonna kind of go through the motions. And I don't think he's that kind of guy, but you just don't.
Yeah, I think that's reading. I think that's maybe going a little too reading a little.
I know.
I don't think JT's gonna. Again, look, if we were kind of talking about this before we went live, if he wants to get traded, the best way to get traded is to show the rest of the NFL, I'm healthy and I'm an elite running back, right? Because right now it's like, why would you trade for JT? He's not even playing. We don't know if he's healthy. If he goes out there and is running for 100 yards every week and looking great, his trade value, it's way easier for teams to go, okay, let's go get JT, right? So it doesn't, I don't think that's going to be the issue. I mean, I do kind of agree with you about the 50-50. Maybe they won't give him the full snaps. But again, I mean, you look at the state of the running backs. Like, I'm not going to start, like Khalil Herbert over him. I'm not going to start, I'm not going to start guys like that over him. Like, I'd rather just roll JT and take whatever I get because those guys can bust just as easily. You know what I mean? And they don't have the pedigree of a Jonathan Taylor.
So I think I know, but let me ask you this. Here's a question that would probably be a very realistic question some people might ask. If JT's active this week, but you had Zach Moss because you picked him up.
Oh, JT. No, I'm playing JT. Okay. Come on, Zach Moss. Like, look, Zach Moss has been great in the 3 games so far because he's getting every touch, but Zach Moss is nothing special as a running back. Like, there's a reason why Zach Moss has had the career Zach Moss has had. It's not because he's Jonathan Taylor. It's because he's Zach Moss. So no, I'm not. I would not play Zach Moss. It's a brutal. It's already a tough enough matchup. It's already like, at least with JT, you feel like, hey, this guy's good enough. Maybe he can break a couple tackles and rip off a long run or something. Not Zach Moss isn't going to do that.
No. That's a guy who depends on volume, and he's getting it, which is why he's been valuable so far. But yeah, if he's not getting it anymore, different story. Only would be if they say Taylor's going to be on a snap count. He's only going to get 20% of the work or something like that, 70-30. Okay, well, then it makes sense to go Moss. All right.
probably
It
still
also
wouldn't
makes
play Zach
sense.
Moss, but I wouldn't play JT either then if they said that. So unless I was desperate.
Exactly. We'll see if they give us that much clarity.
Right.
We'll see. Well, we'll see. I bet we're going to get some JT questions. We'll get a lot of other questions. Yesterday was Justin Fields Day. We got a lot of Justin Fields questions, rightfully so. That's the first game this week. That's the Thursday night game. As far as whether you should start him, the answer, as always, is it depends. But here I do have a very clear answer what you should do. If you are an underdog and you are signing up and you are a new customer for the very first time because you just found out how amazing it is, well, first of all, you make sure you use promo code ENDGAME because that gets you a deposit match now for a limited time. And by that, I mean just today, the rest of today. It's been going on a few days, but this is it, the last chance. You get a deposit match up to $500, dollar for dollar. And then what you do, the first pick you should make is Justin Fields, because if you're new to Underdog and you sign up using that promo code, you get this customer special of Justin Fields just needs 1 yard. That's right. Higher on 0.5 yards. You take that and you combine it with anything else. Good way to triple just some of the money that you already got. And then another, is that right? Another 100K Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. Really wanting to give money away. So a couple of weeks in a row now, they've given out $10,000 to 10 different users. This week, doing it again, and the special is George Kittle. So you pick higher or lower. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It doesn't matter if he hits. Just use the Kittle pick, the one that says in bright yellow there, 100K Sundays, and you're automatically entered to try to win 10K.
Actually, I just noticed it's different this week. Instead of 10K to 10 winners, they're doing $100 to 1,000 winners. So,
you're right.
So more people are going to win. So
1,000 people are going to win.
1,000 people just for using that line.
Well, even better chance to win. Obviously not as big a prize, but you know what? You're doing these pick'ems, which, by the way, I know I'm a little bit, which is funny because technically, Chris, you're more the gambler because you've done this kind of thing before, but I'm a little riskier when it comes to these picks. I'll do like the 4 and 5 pick slates, like we'll try to win big, like go all in. And of course that doesn't always work out. It did work 2 weeks ago. Like I said, I won, I think $350, but the odds are better of winning something when there's more people who win. So it's actually even better to enter this week, right? Better chance to win. Just get $100 for winning possibly more money. Anyways, use the promo code ENDGAME. You get all of that. The new customer special, Justin Fields. Take that pick before tomorrow night's game. Enter the 100K Sunday for George Kittle pick and get that deposit match. Again, up to $500, but that is just today only while the day lasts. So if you haven't tried Underdog, this right now is literally the best time to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then now it is the best time for us to get to your questions and your comments and answer as many as we can. If you're new to the show, first of all, welcome. Thanks for joining the best fantasy community out there. And we're going to get to as many as we can. The super chat feature is for those who want to use that fast pass, get to the line. Make sure their question is answered. We will guarantee to answer all the super chats. We were here almost 4 hours last night because that's how long it took. We'll stay on as long as it takes, and we'll try to get to you all. We'll answer some regular comments too. But again, you want to guarantee that you get your question or your comment shown on the screen and answered in as much detail as possible, then that's what it's for. But let's start with the very first comment from still the best username out there because it's just so true. Fantasy football is pain. Let's see if this is painful. Was offered Mostert and Mims for Brian Robinson and Sharb.
I'm taking the Brian Robinson side. I just Mostert was a guy I've been, if you watch the buy low videos for like 2 weeks in a row, not this week because he didn't have a good game. But Mostert was a guy I kept putting on there like, trade Mostert for this guy or trade Mostert and this player for this player or whatever. Because I felt like, come on. I mean, there's just obvious things. Like, we know Mostert's not going to finish the season as the number one scoring running back. Like, I would have bet a lot of money on that and felt very confident in my bet. And I like Brian Robinson a lot. I think he's a great buy low right now. He's in a great situation. He looks good. And then when it comes to Mims and Charb, that's probably close. So for me, it's more like Brian Robinson over Mostert is the tiebreaker here. So you said you were offered Mostert and Mims for Brian Robinson and Charb, meaning you have Brian Robinson and Charb. So in that case, I'm saying no, and I'm keeping Robinson and Charb.
I'm saying no too. And it's funny because, 2 weeks ago, you had said, Robinson or Mostert, Robinson over Mostert. Like, are you crazy? Mostert is the number one running back. He's going to break record. Well, now we already know it's not going to be Mostert. It's going to be the RB1 at the end of the season because Devon Achane is going to be the number one running back at the end of the season. I like Robinson a little better than Mostert. And I definitely would rather have Charb because, he's an injury away from being super valuable. Mims,
that is true.
I don't even know if they traded Jerry Jeudy to Carolina and Cortland Sutton, was out for the year. I still don't think Marvin Mims would be like a league winner. Like, he would definitely be valuable, but it would not be the same. So, yeah, if you were offered the Mostert side, I would say no. And then Senor Royland, thoughts on this trade, which, by the way, we do have a lot of our members now, YouTube members. We'll try to get to as many of your comments as we can. So let's do zero RB team. Traded away Kyron to get JT.
I like it. I definitely like it. I know right now, like, it's one of those trades that you feel like, oh man, I just make a big mistake. But I still have a lot of worries with Kyron Williams. A lot long term. I mean, obviously, right now, if he's playing, you're starting him. Like, I don't have any worries about Kyron Williams in week 5. But I like to look ahead, to where it matters, where it's like you're making the playoff run and then you're in the playoffs. And I really have worries about Kyron still being a workhorse. I saw something today. Somebody posted in the Discord the best run blocking offensive lines. The Rams are 9th best run blocking offensive line. Kyron Williams is averaging 3.8 yards per carry behind a top 10 run blocking line. And I think his rush yards over expectations is like -30. Like, yep. I just, like, it's not hard to see a path for Kyron Williams getting phased out as the season goes on because he hasn't been that good. Yeah, I know he's been great for your fantasy team. I get it. But you talk about Kyron Williams, he's like the RB5. Yeah, because he has 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. Like, half his points are from touchdowns. So, like, JT, we know is an elite talent. Don't have to worry about that. I think this is a big win for you. And like you said, for your zero running back team, you got to keep all your wide receivers. So that's nice.
Even better. Yeah. Kyron's been a stud. Chad, I hope you're not listening, but it's true. He's been a stud because he's in a great system for it. And what a turnaround for the Rams. That offensive line was just like horrible last year. Then we got Alex B. Olave, Nico, or Zay can only start one. Derek Carr has not been good. Going against the Pats, well, look, the Pats, you should be a lot less worried about. Christian Gonzalez, the rookie who was looking great, now out for the season, right? Isn't that official?
And then they went out and traded for J.C. Jackson, who's been horrible. J.C. Jackson that they let walk, last year, right? Or was it? And then they went back and traded for him, and he's been horrible. It's why he's one of the reasons why the Chargers are like so bad against the pass. I'm still going Chris Olave. I just am. Like, yeah. I will say this. I like Zay Flowers a lot this week. He's on tomorrow's video. But I'm still going Chris Olave. I mean, I can't, like, they can't have the same game plan they had last week. Like, yeah, they're going to throw it down the field more. It should be a bounce back for the Saints. I'm still going Chris Olave.
Yeah, I think Carr hopefully is a little bit stronger this week, and Carr can still throw the deep ball. Let's not forget Chris Olave was pretty good the first couple of weeks. So I like all 3 of these guys, but I have to go Olave too. And then George Dominguez, full PPR, Gibbs or Watson?
Oh, definitely Watson. Yeah. Way more upside. I mean, what are we really? Gibbs is fine if he's like your RB2, but that's about it.
Yeah, Watson, and also in this matchup, definitely go Watson. Ahmad, also member. Should I start HN? Yes. Let's see, or James Cook. I mean, you're not starting Cook over him, are you?
No, I mean, I like James Cook, but you got to start Achane. I mean, this is a guy that like you're never going to want him on your bench. Unless something happens and he just starts playing terrible and is hardly touching the ball. This is a guy you're never going to want on the bench. Like, you're never going to want him on your bench because he can, any given week, he can just go nuts.
And let's remember this week, Dolphins are at home against the Giants. Start Achane, start Mostert, start Durham Smythe at tight end, start Braxton Berrios.
All right, let's not get too crazy.
All right. Although I am streaming Smythe in a league, but that's just.
I mean, look, it's tight. You might have
all my tight ends are on bye.
Yeah, you might have to in a tight end league. You might have to, honestly.
Should I start Ridley or Pittman or Collins at the flex? Again.
I'm gonna say I think if it's like I like Ridley still. I'm not like out on Ridley, but I was gonna say if it's my team, I'm going Pittman. Simply because I like Pittman a lot this week. He's going up against the Titans. Don't look at what happened last week against the Bengals. That's like, look at all last season and all of this season. They've been horrific against the pass in every single game. And who's Pittman competing with? Josh Downs? That's it. Granson, the tight end? I mean, that's it. Like, so I just feel like Pittman is a little safer than Ridley, but I also feel like Pittman has plenty of upside this week to where I would just put Pittman in.
I got out of those three, I would really love to start all of them. I mean, you don't have a bad choice here. You really don't. All have big upside. Steelers have been terrible against number one receivers. I think Ridley could have a big week, but I'm going Pittman too. Two of those three guys are booms for me this week. Yeah. So that tells you how I like them. And then Pittman is the one I like the best. Also, Alec Pierce, concussion, might not play. That's just more targets for Pittman. And then he's got one more. You got a lot of first world problems, Ahmad. You got too many good receivers. Terry McLaurin against the Bears, Christian Watson again, or Olave. Is it Olave again?
Yeah, I can't bench Olave. I just can't. I mean, look, everybody has a bad game. He's been great. He was great the first 3 weeks. Can't bench Olave. Not for these guys. Look, I like Watson this week, but we can't act like Christian Watson is a slam dunk, no doubt. And yeah, Terry McLaurin's against the Bears, but we can't act like he's a slam dunk, no doubt either. He disappears all the time. So I'm still going Olave here.
Yeah, the one thing with Terry, like, it's the Bears. He could definitely have a big game. Their corners are hurt. Jalen Johnson, I think, is out. Someone else out. But it could also just be a big Ryan Robinson week. Like, they might not have to pass the ball that much if the old Justin Fields shows up. So I would go with Olave. All right, now it's time for the super chats. Let's get to the very first one, and this is Pedro Nevarez, 3-1. Mason struggling on who to start. Well, we're not Mason, but anyways, T10 PPR, RB wide receiver, James Cook, Puka, Smith, Chan, Garrett Wilson, Christian. Okay, we need a running back two receivers, and a flex. Got to start Chan.
All right, well, yeah, RB2, it's got to be Achane. It's got to be. You cannot bench Achane. Your 2 wide receivers are going to be Puka and Devonta Smith. Flex is tough. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson, I like Christian Watson, and I like Brian Robinson, and I even kind of like James Conner, but I think I got to go Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. All right. I mean, I think, Achane has to be in your lineup.
Yeah.
Go Puka. I don't think Kupp plays this week. You got to start Devontae Smith.
Right.
I like all of these guys. Yeah. I would say it's PPR. I might prefer Watson to Wilson, but I might prefer, I don't know. I like all these guys. If you're going for upside, look, you're 3-1. You don't have to roll the dice or anything. I actually really like James Conner this week, believe it or not. But I'm going to put Brian Robinson over him because it's the Bears. But this is tough. I like them all. Mumble Dragon, 3-1 also, top of the league. Got one spot to stash a receiver. Deontay Johnson or Jameson Williams?
It has to be Deontay Johnson. I mean,
Yeah.
We can't be more hyped up for Jameson Williams than Deontay Johnson, right? Like,
No,
what?
I'm not.
Yeah, it's got to be Deontay Johnson. I mean, Dan Campbell already saying like, "Hey, look, like he might not play a lot. We're gonna like work him in. Like, we're doing this again, right? We're doing the Jameson Williams thing again this year, aren't we? We're doing it again. It's gonna be like 4 weeks from now. Why aren't they throwing? Why isn't he on the field?
Think about who we're talking about, Dan Campbell, right? He's going to just rush out to throw this, young players. No, it's not going to happen. No. Look, even in all the griping and all the complaining, which is very well deserved about the Steelers offense, it was the same Steelers offense last year, and Deontay Johnson was pretty good, wasn't he? I mean, he wasn't scoring touchdowns, but he was still pretty good. So it's definitely Deontay. All right, and then we got Kyle. Have Kupp also start Puka. I guess we're assuming if Kupp does play this week. So we need one for flex between Devontae Smith, Kupp, or Puka and Brees Hall.
Well, I mean, if Kupp plays, I'm playing him because again, I don't. It doesn't sound like the Rams are going to play him until they feel really good about him. So if they're playing him, I have to just assume they feel really good about him. Not only that, he's Cooper Kupp. Again, this isn't like, hey guys, like, yeah, Deontay Johnson is coming back from IR. Should I start him this week? It's like maybe. This is Cooper Kupp. It's like Cooper Kupp. Like, I have a hard time benching Cooper Kupp if he's on the field. So I'm going Kupp there, and then I would probably still go Puka. I mean, certainly if Kupp doesn't play, you got to go Puka. But I do like Brees Hall this week. I like Brees Hall this week. It's the Broncos. And no, Brees Hall is not back to 100% yet, not even close. But against the Broncos, that probably won't matter. Because you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And apparently there's no limitations now, right? They're saying Brees Hall, no more snap count, whatever. I don't think that's the issue here with Brees Hall. I mean, there's a lot of other issues, like no passing offense and then offensive line and everything else. But I mean, yeah, Brees Hall could have himself a week, but I'm not going to start him over any of these receivers. I'm still keeping Devontae Smith in there. I think what you're asking, I mean, are these all flex options? I find that hard to believe, but if Kupp plays, you play him. And then if you also need to worry about flex. All right, how about let's just make this simple. Let's rank them. Number 1, Kupp. Number 2, Devontae Smith. Number 3, Puka.
Yeah, if Kupp plays, I would put Puka
plays
below Devonta Smith.
Okay.
If Kupp doesn't play, I'd probably put Puka over Devonta Smith, and then it would be Puka, Smith, Hall.
Perfect. All right, there you go. Ron Real TV got T-Law as a backup. Would you trade Hurts to get Chase?
Well, yes, this is a league-winning, championship-making move. This is how you take advantage of having 2 good QBs. Yes, 100%.
And then looking at those receivers, you need a receiver. I mean, a stud receiver. Yeah. Those guys are fine, but you don't want fine. Fine's not going to win you a championship, and you don't have a number 1 receiver because of Garrett Wilson thing.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely do that. I think T-Law will be okay. I'm keeping faith in him. We've been talking about them quite a bit too. Yeah, I think Lawrence will be fine. All right, Nobu Knight. 8-man PPR 2 flex. You got Stroud and AR in an 8-man league. All right, just throwing that out there. Bijan, Etienne, Swift, Amon, Devontae, Kupp, Debo, Thielen, Dell, Henry. Trades get declined. Okay, so Devontae for Hawk and Pittman or Marquise. Would you trade Devontae Smith for one of those combinations if your tight end is Hunter Henry?
I mean, you definitely don't feel good about starting Hunter Henry in an 8-team league. You got Amon-Ra, Kupp coming back, Debo, Thielen. I'd probably do this. Even though I really like Devontae, because look, Pittman's going to be good. I think Pittman or Marquise are going to be good. And you're getting Hawkinson. Yeah, I would do this.
Yeah, because you're getting a receiver back, and I would say definitely go for Pittman over Hollywood because you don't want him winding up in Carolina and then, not going to be quite as valuable. Who knows? And then he says Etienne, Thielen for Chase, Ford.
I mean, you have to, if you're getting, you have Etienne.
Chase.
This is, I mean, if somebody's willing to do this, you have to do it. You have to do it. I mean,
I would do both of those.
Yeah, I would do both of them. And I would also either drop or try to trade Stroud. I don't know if anybody's going to trade for Stroud in an 8-team league. I would assume everybody has a quarterback they like. But if somebody out there doesn't, because maybe they drafted Joe Burrow,
I mean,
try to trade Stroud. You don't need Stroud and Anthony Richardson, especially in an 8-team league.
and you know what happens? A lot of leagues. I mean, this might be one where everybody takes 2 quarterbacks. All right, so 8-team league, right? But if everybody took a backup quarterback, you got top 16 quarterbacks off the board. You're already in that range where you're not loving who you have. If you picked the wrong guy, like maybe it was Joe Burrow or maybe Deshaun Watson, you're like, I'm not crazy about him. Stroud is now kind of trendy, so you never know. Or somebody made the mistake, as we saw yesterday, of only drafting Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yeah.
It happens. All right. I would say, So Nobu Knight, take both those deals. Devontae for Hawk and Pittman, and then Etienne and Thielen, sorry, for Chase and Ford. Definitely that one. Definitely. Yeah. All right, Kyle, now Ertz or Kincaid?
Ertz this week. He's got a good matchup. He's getting the targets. Give me Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, he actually is in a pretty good matchup this week because Bengals not great against tight ends. Kincaid is getting more involved. I still like Kincaid long term, and I'll keep saying that, but not this week. I don't think you have to risk him this week. So go ahead.
And I'm starting Ertz over Darren Waller in one league, the only league I drafted Darren Waller in. So
there you go. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. We got RJ Colo in the house. Good evening. Another 8-team league, 2-2. Got Allen, Jacobs, Eckler, Chase, CD, Kelsey, Ridley. On the bench is Hall, Hollywood, Gibbs, Dell, Dobbs. Going to start Hall in place of Eckler this week. Okay, got to do that. Yeah. What trades could we do to shake this up? It's a good team. Just obviously Eckler being out and Jacobs underachieving has hurt, but I don't think this team needs a lot.
No, you got Chase, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, it's an 8-team league, but still, you got Chase, CeeDee Lamb. You got Kelsey, Ridley. You got Breece Hall, Hollywood Brown, Gibbs just chilling on your bench. Eckler coming back. Jacobs has another good matchup this week. I think he'll be good. You got Josh Allen. I mean, sometimes you don't need to trade. Like, look, I like trading. Trading is fun. But sometimes you don't need to do it. And I don't think you need to do it.
Yeah. I don't know where you really could even upgrade this team because you have 2 receivers who were first-round picks, not in an 18 league, but, in 12 team, at least in our leagues. You have the number 1 tight end. You have one of the very top quarterbacks. You can't upgrade either of those positions. You got Eckler coming back. Jacobs, okay, he's been disappointing, but who are you going to get instead of him that's going to give you, I don't know. I don't even think I would say, maybe take a chance and get JT, but no, I think you're good. I really don't think there's anything you should do here.
Yeah, the only thing I could really think of trying is if you went like Jacobs and say like Ridley, but that probably won't even do it right now. To try to get like Bijan or CMC, but I don't even know if you're going to be able to do that. So, yeah,
probably not. CMC, I don't think anybody.
I don't know. We've had some people. I think there are people like selling high on Christian McCaffrey right now.
Oh man. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know you like Pollard. Maybe Pollard.
Yeah,
instead of
Pollard.
Jacobs. I think I would say I'd rather, and you won't have to give up much.
I don't know if I'm going to trade Jacobs and Ridley just to get Pollard.
No, not in Ridley. No, it would be like Jacobs and Dobbs, or maybe in Gibbs. But even then, whatever. Okay, Joe. Flowers over Ridley because of matchup and target share this week. Risky.
Yeah, I probably still go. I do like Zay Flowers, but I still go Ridley.
I'm going Ridley. I like Flowers, but Ridley has that upside, that huge upside. He doesn't rely on the volume as much. That's the only thing I don't like with Flowers. Not because of him, because of his offense, because he can definitely go deep and he can make those plays, but they're keeping it closer to the line of scrimmage. Baltimore is passing a little bit more, but that doesn't mean they're passing deeper. So Flowers has been a little bit more of a low ADOT guy than I would like. So I'm going to go for the upside of Ridley. We says, welcome back. Let's see. His question is right here. Wow, I wonder if there is another question. He's just saying thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome back.
Oh, here we go. 10 team PPR pick 2 running backs, a flex and a tight end. Here are your choices. Is Mostert kind of a must start because of the Giants?
Yeah, I think you still got to roll with Mostert. I mean, you got to give him another chance. Again, we can't just give up on guys because they have one bad game. Like everybody has a bad game. You can't just like if CMC goes out this week and gets 5 fantasy points, are we all giving up on CMC? Are we like just done with CMC? Like, oh well, that's it.
Yes. Should have sold high after week 4.
Yeah, that's why I traded Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, I'm going Mostert. Is that James Cook? I'm going James Cook. I mean, if it's Dalvin Cook, I'm not going Dalvin Cook. I'm going to assume it's James Cook. I hope it's not Dalvin Cook. And then I'm going Ertz at tight end. And then I'm going to flex Gus Bus.
Yeah, tight end. I guess I'll work backwards here. Tight ends between Higbee and Ertz. Higbee is kind of interesting because Eagles defense, other than the 1 week where I picked Kate Otten to go off against them and then he got hurt. Other than that, the Eagles have been bad against tight ends. But look, with Kupp maybe coming back, like, nah, I'll go Ertz. I feel like you have to start Mostert. I actually really like Gus Edwards this week. So I'm picking Edwards, but it doesn't matter because you have to flex one of these guys. So I'm just flexing Cook. So in a roundabout way, I just picked the same thing as you. And then let's see. I'll make sure we got all of his because I think he said he's going to come back with another one. All right, let's go on to Johnny K. What is up? Welcome back to full PPR. Start 2 receivers and a flex. We got Nico, Debo, Watson, Waddle, Aaron Jones, James Conner. All right.
Yeah, Debo limited in practice, but that's still better than last week when he wasn't even practicing.
Yeah.
So I do feel better about Debo this week. I think you got to start Waddle. It's the Giants.
Got to start Waddle.
Man, my other wide receiver is close here.
I mean,
I can make a case for all these guys.
Yeah, like I would say with Debo, I don't think it's the limitations and the practice thing. I think it's the matchup that might worry me this week because they get the Cowboys and then Watson and Nico both have great matchups. So it's like, who do you feel better about, Nico or Watson? That's the way I'm thinking about it. I don't want to, although you know what? We're flexing one. I mean, I'm not going to put Aaron Jones. Connor, I like Connor this week, but I might just go Waddle, Watson, Nico.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to bench Debo, but I do like those guys. So, all right, go with that.
The risk with Nico is kind of the same as the risk with Debo, right? It's like, what if it's an Ayuk week and it's not a Debo week? What if it's a Tank Dell week? No, I feel better about Nico.
I do feel like it might be because again, the Falcons have AJ Terrell and he's a fantastic corner, and Nico does play that traditional X wide receiver role, which means he might get a lot of AJ Terrell, just like Calvin Ridley did last week, and we saw a big Christian Kirk game. So I do, but at the same time, Nico's been great, so it's hard to bench him. But Debo, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. If it was my team, I'm going Waddle, Watson, Debo. I just have a hard time benching Debo. I have a really hard time benching Debo. He's got, So, but I think Nico's good too. So,
yeah, I'm definitely going Waddle. I think you need to put Watson in there.
Yeah.
And then the third one is tough. I think this week I might lean Nico, but it's close.
Yeah, it's close. I mean, look, see how maybe Debo, if he just keeps being limited, then maybe don't chance it and just go with Nico.
Right. And then Max Leitner with the sticker. All right, so here's the team: Bijan, Swift, Achane, Gus, and Warren, DK, Garrett Wilson, Watson, London. Would you trade Achan, Garrett Wilson, DK, and Warren for the Sun God and JT. He's 1-3, so looking to shake things up. And I guess Achan is his number 3 running back, technically, I guess.
I mean, the seldom seen 4-for-2 trade. Very rare.
Very rare.
4-for-2.
I kind of like this, though. I kind of like this because, look, DK is solid, but he's not a top 10 receiver, right? For fantasy, let's face it, he's not a clear number 1 receiver. Garrett Wilson, sadly, is not going to be. You're getting a legit stud in Amon-Ra, and you're getting JT. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Warren doesn't really count that much.
Warren is just doesn't exist in this trade. So I think I like this because you're upgrading a receiver, and that's what it, to me, stands out is the top end of the receiver group, right? There's not a clear-cut stud.
Yeah, I mean, that's true because obviously he thought Garrett Wilson was going to be his stud, and he's not.
You think it's too much?
Yeah, because, I mean, now you're going to be rolling out. I mean, I don't know how many wide receivers you start, but now your wide receivers are going to be Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Christian Watson, and Drake London. Like, you're this close to having to start Drake London every week.
Well, that's the only thing. With Christian Watson as your like he should be an every week start, right? And your number 2 receiver, but we know he is injury susceptible. And so he's a guy that, yeah, exactly. You're one sprained ankle away from like, oh great, now I have to start.
Even Amon-Ra, I mean, he's always like, look, Amon-Ra, he plays through injury a lot, but he's always kind of nicked up, right? He's always dealing with something or other. Like,
yeah, but he's a warrior. He won't sit out.
I mean, that's true.
I'm wondering, I mean, 1, 2, 3, you only got 4 receivers on the roster. I mean, obviously, if you do this, you're going to have 2 empty roster spots. So I think if you can pick up somebody, a receiver with upside.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I would ask is like, okay, if you're going to do this, who are you picking up off waivers? Like, are there good players still on waiver wire, or are you going to be picking up like Josh Reynolds as your, you know what I mean? Guys like that. So
Matt Collins to go with Drake London.
Yeah, Matt Collins. Oh man.
I say you're not going to miss DK. I don't think DK and Garrett Wilson right now, as things stand, are going to carry you into the playoffs.
No, they're not.
I like upgrading. I like getting JT because, look, if Swift keeps doing what Swift is doing, then you can trade either him or JT and get another big fish at receiver. Because people, will want that stud running back. So that might be the move here is do it and then swing a trade for one of those guys.
All right, do it.
I mean, you don't have to agree. I'm just saying that's what I would do. I would say, look, you're 1-3, you're making a move. I say, why not?
I mean, you do have to do something. You're 1-3, but yeah. Just pray Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson or Christian Watson stay healthy.
Yeah. Always a risk there. All right, Louis C. Welcome back. 4-0. Very nice. Traded Thielen for Rachaad White. How do you grade that?
Yeah, give me Rachaad White. I mean, I can go to the waiver wire and replace Adam Thielen on any given week. I can't go to I cannot go to the waiver wire right now and find Rachaad White. Like, there's not. He's not out there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a wide receiver to give me 12 fantasy points. Yeah, I can find that. Like, I can find that on any given week. A running back to give me 12 fantasy points on the waiver wire. Yeah, that's pretty tough to find unless it's like, you have something where like Christian McCaffrey goes down and now Elijah Mitchell is the starting running back for the 49ers, but no guarantee you're getting Elijah Mitchell if he's on the waiver wire. So, yeah, give me Rachaad White here.
Yeah. And, it's not like this is a, number 1 running back or anything. I mean, I'd say this is like a B, a solid B if I had to grade this trade. It's a win, not a massive win, but I think it's good. Especially, what if Carolina does trade for Hollywood Brown or T. Higgins? How much are people going to be loving Adam Thielen then? I mean, this offense already isn't that great. So I'm just saying that's what's out there. Talk about Christian Watson. He's back. The Terminator. He says Christian Watson is just out there. Just out there.
Christian Watson should not be on any waiver wire. What the heck?
All right, Big Luscious is back in the house. What are your thoughts on Keaton Mitchell?
My thoughts are like he can sit on my waiver wires.
My thought is if you're in a league that gets points for like return yardage,
Yeah.
maybe, and there are some that do that, but no, zero interest in Keaton Mitchell. Brian F. 12 team need a tight end. Do I trade Hollywood and D Hop for Darren Waller and Terry McLaurin?
I mean, no.
No.
No, I mean you need a tight end. I'm just telling you right now, somebody who has Darren Waller, he's not the tight end you need. He is not the tight end you need. Nah, he's been awful. Yeah, no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah, this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi meme where this is not the tight end you're looking for. This is not the answer here. And it's easy to say now. Everyone's piling on the Giants and Darren Waller. Say it again. Did not draft Darren Waller in a single of my 15, 16, however many leagues I'm in this year. Not a single one. And even in our mock drafts, right? Every time Darren Waller was picked, we're both like, yeah, don't like that pick, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, don't trade for Darren Waller. Ramu, welcome back, Ramu. 10 team needs 2 running back from Mostert, Madison, JT. Well, I mean, in this case, if JT plays, you're playing him.
Yeah, if JT plays, I'm going Mostert, JT. If not, then obviously you're going Mostert, Madison.
Yeah, Mostert over Madison for sure. Needs 2 receivers and a flex from Chase, Olave, Dell, Dobbs, Wilson. I mean, Chase and Olave, I think, are the no doubt.
Yeah,
that's flexing.
Yeah, Chase Olave, they're in for sure. I'm debating Dell and Dobbs.
Yeah, I think the matchup, right? It's the Raiders.
Yeah, but also, again, like I said, Falcons, AJ Terrell might spend a lot of time on Nico Collins like he did on Calvin Ridley last week. Maybe that means a big Tank Dell game. And like I don't know if I see a big Dobbs game. I like Dobbs, but I don't know if I see like a big Dobbs game. I think he'll have a good game.
It could be a Tank week, right? It's like Nico and Tank are like taking turns, so
I might go Tank. Dobbs is safer. If you're like, hey, I just want to get like it's PPR. Okay, if you're just like, I just want to get like my double-digit PPR points and move on to week 6, you go Dobbs. If you're like, hey, I need, my opponent has CMC and Bijan Robinson and Justin Jefferson somehow. I mean, it is 10 team. You never know. But whatever. Then maybe go Dell for the upside.
Yeah, it is a 10-teamer. Not Wilson out of this group, like Wilson, but not this week as much. So Dobbs, Dell. I slightly lean Dobbs, but it's close between him and Dell. So he leans Dell, I lean Dobbs. If Musgrave is out, which it sounds like he's practicing, but pick up Schultz, Henry Ferguson, or Conklin.
I think I like Ferguson the most out of these guys.
Yeah, out of these guys, it's Ferguson for sure this week. I just saw a stat. Ferguson has tied for the most red zone targets. Like, not just among tight ends.
I'm telling you, the Cowboys offense is going to explode here soon. They keep getting like red zone inside the 5 and just not converting. There's going to be a week here, maybe multiple weeks, where the Cowboys offense is just going nuts. So
yeah. But people are, I think, not realizing Cowboys offense is actually good. They just haven't put up points because they haven't needed to. All right, let's do a couple of quick regular chats. Get some people who've been waiting a while. Let's try to do these as quickly as we can. Andres Agosto needs help. Got offered Amon-Ra for Ayuk and Gibbs.
Yeah, I think so. I do like Ayuk and Gibbs long term, but I still have to prefer Amon-Ra more here. And like, we don't really know what Gibbs is going to give us long term. So I'm assuming you got offered Amon-Ra. I'll take Amon-Ra.
This is fair. This is close, but I think I would take Amon-Ra. And then always Ryder. RB2 slot. You put Swift, Monty, or a Chan?
I mean, you got to put Achane. I do like Swift a lot this week. I think Swift is going to go off, but you got to put Achane in there.
Yeah, you can't bench that ridiculous. I mean, like, you don't want to bench Swift, of course,
No.
but I think you got to. It's the Giants. I mean, come on, it's the Giants. What about Sleepy Euphoria? That sounds like an entertaining YouTube channel. I'm gonna check that out. Should I trade away Puka for Waddle?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing this for sure. For sure.
Yeah, doing it. Motive. Am I crazy for starting Sam Howell over T Law?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're crazy.
There you go.
I do like Sam Howell this week, but I would not start him over Trevor Lawrence.
Not over Trevor Lawrence. Keep the faith. Might be a pass-heavy week for them. All right, what about Sal? One of our guys, Sal Palumbo. Thank you. Half PPR got Tua, Lamb, Lockett, Flowers, Thomas, Jacobs, Rashad, Kelsey, Bench, Spears, Sharp, P. Ryan, Michael Wilson, P. Ryan again. Barrios got offered Lockett, Flowers for JT and Boyd. Are you giving up JT basically to get Lockett and Flowers? No, I don't think so.
Well, no, because he has Flowers. He has Lockett and Flowers, so he's giving up Lockett and Flowers just to get JT.
Got offered. I mean, okay, so you got offered JT for your Lockett and Flowers.
I mean, you're getting Boyd, but I mean, let's be real. Well, here's the problem. You get rid of Lockett and Flowers, you have CeeDee Lamb and Michael Thomas, Michael Wilson, Braxton Berrios. Like, look, Pierre's a Dolphins fan, so he believes, he likes Berrios. But let's be real. You don't want to start Braxton Berrios every week of the season.
No, you don't. That's true. Your receiver depth thins very quickly.
You can't. Boyd is not going to fill the void left by Lockett and Flowers.
No.
You can't.
No.
You can't do this.
Looking at the running backs, you got Jacobs, Rashad White, startable. Is JT enough of an upgrade there?
To have to start, I mean, I'm assuming you have to start at least 2 wide receivers. That means you're starting Lamb and Michael Wilson, Lamb and Tyler Boyd, Lamb and Braxton Berrios, Lamb and Michael Thomas. Like, you're going to start, like, this is going to be your wide receiver 2 every week. These guys are like desperation flex plays, not wide receiver 2s. So,
yeah. In a vacuum, I would take the JT for those 2 receivers, but on this team, it probably doesn't make sense. If that makes sense. All right. And then let's go to. Okay. Well, Python has I guess this is a question. Sort of answer this. What's up, Python? Always on our side. He said already on Underdog, of course. Need a promo to support us if you already are a customer. Well, we can't give you a promo code to sign up, but they're always giving freebies. I mean, I don't know what else we could do there.
That would be cool if they did that. That would be could if they did that for us, though. If they're like, hey, existing endgame customers, if you use this code, get this. That would be pretty cool because that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I would say is the best thing is to get other people to sign up as customers. If you have friends, league mates, whatever, anybody. That's the best thing that I can think of. But we appreciate you. We always appreciate
that would support us. Appreciate you a lot.
Jamesis 45. Damian Pierce, Deontay Achane for Bijan and Algier.
Give me Bijan and Algier. I mean, look, I like Achane, but are we going to sit here and pretend like Achane is going to be better than Bijan the rest of the season? Like, no. And look, Deontay's fine, and maybe Pierce gets rolling at some point this year, but they just put another offensive lineman on IR. They have 7 offensive linemen on IR. I mean, how many of these guys need to come back at some point this year, which they may or may not, for you to start feeling good about Dameon Pierce? I mean, they're literally 7 offensive linemen. That is crazy. Give me Bijan and Algier here.
Yeah, I'd take Bijan for all 3 of those guys. Yeah, definitely do it. Vinny, what's up, Vinny? 16 team needs a running back and a flex. So here are the options: Stevenson, McLaughlin, Garrett Wilson, Barrios, or Thielen. Running back.
In this case, I'm still rolling with Stevenson. I
Yeah.
Can't trust McLaughlin, especially it's sounding like Javonte might not even miss. At least we know Stevenson's getting the work. I did see a stat. He's one of the leaders among running backs in terms of he gets almost all the red zone touches on this team. The problem is they don't get a lot of red zone touches, but
Right.
you know,
Could be some regression there. Not a lot, but yeah, I agree. I'm not ready to start McLaughlin over a guy like Stevenson. I think he'll be okay this week. And
yeah,
then at flex,
I'm
it's got to
going
be Garrett
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Definitely Garrett
Wilson
Wilson.
against the Broncos. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Roast beef. Dak, CMC, Ramondre, Ayuk, Waddle, Hawk, Mostert. And then there's the bench. Oh, yeah, Mari's on bye. Okay, well, I don't know. What do you think about this? We just talked about Ramondre. I'm putting Mostert at RB2. Would you then flex like Jacoby Myers over Ramondre this week?
Yeah, I definitely would. I definitely would. Yeah, I would put Mostert at RB2 and flex Jacoby over Ramondre. And then, yeah, you are weak at running back. I mean, you can maybe try to trade like a Tyler Lockett. He's on bye. Try to trade him to a team that's 3-1 or 4-0 and see if you can get maybe you can get a Rashad White type or somebody like that. Like a decent RB2. Because you got Ayuk, you got Waddle, you got Amari Cooper, you got Jacoby Myers, you got good wide receiver depth here.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe try to trade Lockett for, you might even be able to get Travis Etienne right now. He hasn't been very good most weeks. So I don't know. I don't know if people are selling Travis Etienne necessarily, but I would probably try to use Lockett since he's on bye and he's got the name value. He's been pretty good this year. But again, I'd even be happy with a guy like Rashad White. Look, Jerome Ford is a guy I think is a good buy low right now because, week 1 people are like, well, he scored 2 touchdowns. And then week 2, or I should not week 1, week 3, I guess, whatever it was. And then week 4, he didn't really do anything because, the whole offense with Dorian Thompson was a joke of an offense. So I think he's a good buy low too.
Yeah, and especially he's on bye, so nobody's needing him in their lineup or anything. So yeah, that's a guy you could get 1-for-1 for one of your bench receivers. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you got CMC and Ramondre should be better. Mostert's playable, so you're not terrible at running back. It's just your depth, but don't go crazy. Don't trade one of your stud receivers for RB depth. All right, we can do this one. It's pretty easy, I think. Luca Piacenza, 1-3. He says he's made the wrong decision every week. So Tua or Fields?
Well, my response would be if you've made the wrong decision every week, think to yourself, who would I want to start this week, and then pick the other guy. But I'm going Tua this week. He's playing the Giants. He's at home. Give me Tua.
I'm going Tua this week. Definitely Tua. I get it. It should have been a shootout last week. The Dolphins, got some humble pie, but they're playing the Giants this week. Go Tua.
Yeah, and they're in Miami. Go with Tua.
Josue Hidalgo is 4-0. Very nice. And 12 team. Do I trade Puka and Stroud for the Lions stack?
Yeah, because Stroud, Goff, okay, whatever. It's not like Hurts for Goff or something, right? It's like Stroud for Goff. Okay.
Well, look, this is his backup anyways. He's got Lamar.
Oh, okay. Then
that doesn't even matter, really.
That doesn't even matter. So you're basically trading Puka for Amon-Ra, and
Yeah.
I preferred Amon-Ra even when Puka Mania was taking over the land. So yeah, give me Amon-Ra.
Yes. I'll go with the Lions side here. You're basically getting Sun God for Puka. Doing that. All right. Then we got G6. Now got offered HN Gibbs Chase, like all of them. I don't know if that should be another slash. Okay, so HN and Gibbs and Chase for Adams and Swift. Is that what this is?
Yeah. Oof.
Not to call you out, but punctuation is helpful. So if we want to make sure we got this right, if it's Gibbs or Chase or Gibbs and Chase, or if it's those three for those two, I think you got to take the 3.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Not because it's 3 in versus 2, but I
Well,
just
no.
think like Chase and Adams pretty comparable, but I give it still a slight edge to Chase, and then why not take the 2 running backs?
I mean, okay, I guess. Maybe I'm just too high on Swift, but Swift has the look. Look, I know A Chain has the look too, but we're talking about a 190-pound running back who's played 2 NFL games versus a guy who the only issue here was, well, health, of course, but also like opportunity, and now he's getting it. So, yeah, I probably take the A Chain Chase side. A Chan, I'm still struggling with that. A Chan Chase side, but man, Swift has that look this year of an absolute league winner. So
I know, and this is close, but I think I would take the A-Chan side if that's the side you're getting, assuming it's 3 for 2. Hams has Keenan and Godwin on bye. Here's the team. Who to flex between Mondre, Gabe Davis, London, or Edwards?
Gus is your safe bet. That's probably who I go with. I mean, I'm debating Gabe Davis, but I don't love Gabe Davis this week. It's not like a matchup. You know, there's like a couple weeks ago where they were playing the Raiders, and I'm like, you got to start Gabe Davis. Like, it's not one of those type of matchups this week, so I'd probably go Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I like Gus Edwards this week. I have him as a guy who could go off. Yeah, risky. They're all a little bit risky. Edwards is probably the least risky. I mean, I don't even know. Do any of these guys really have a higher ceiling? Gabe certainly, could, but yeah, like I said, I don't think this week he does. So I would go Edwards.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about this? Gene Macasset, Ayuk for JT.
I mean, I'm guessing if you did this, so you said you traded Ayuk for JT, which makes me think you traded Ayuk away to get JT. So I'm assuming if you did this, you obviously didn't like need Ayuk. I mean, Ayuk's great, but I mean, you probably weren't looking at your wide receiver group like that other trade we had earlier where he's going to trade away Lockett and Flowers, and now your wide receiver 2 is like Michael Thomas or somebody like that. I'm guessing you're like, it's fine because I got, I still have this guy, and I'll be okay. So in that case, I think, I probably prefer JT anyways, just because, again, it's harder to find a top 10, top 5 running back than it is to find a top 15 wide receiver, whatever he is. So I probably prefer JT anyways, and I'm going to assume since you did it, like, you probably need JT more than you need Ayuk. So good trade.
I think it's a good trade. I think you can take JT. And speaking of Kevin in the house, now we did talk about this the very, very beginning. I know now everybody's on. If Taylor's playing, is Moss playable?
No, Moss is like barely playable for me if JT is out. Like, Nate, which running back has had success against the Titans this year? None running backs. None. Granted, it's only been 4, but still, none of them have had success. Why am I going to bet on Zach Moss? Like, I get it. Like, if you're like, hey, he's my best option, okay, sure. But like, this does not feel like a Zach Moss week to me. So if Taylor plays, I mean, no chance I'm putting Zach Moss in. No chance.
Yeah, and this is nothing new. The Titans were a tough run defense last year. This is just what we already knew. And look, right now, barely second fewest fantasy points per game allowed to running backs by 0.1 behind the Cowboys, right? So, yeah, don't want to start Moss. And even if JT doesn't play, you maybe don't want to start Moss. Dat Ratchet got tough roster options at the flex. Start to Brees, Nigo, Addison, Flowers, Kirk, or Wilson. Stroud is my new QB, 0-4. Ouch. Okay, so who do you like out of those two guys?
I think I'm going Kirk. And it's really close for me between Flowers and Nico.
And this doesn't say, I mean, I'm going to assume it's PPR.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flowers, Nico. I mean, Flowers is certainly the safer pick because he's the number 1 guy there. He's going to get targeted. Nico, it's kind of been all or nothing for him, hasn't it? It's like,
but I think Flowers has a big game this week.
yeah, he definitely could. So
Yeah,
go
I really
Flowers.
do.
Or Kirk and Flowers.
Yeah, I might go Kirk and Flowers.
I think Kirk and Flowers will be totally fine. Yeah. And then Robert needs 3 flexes. JT, Moss, Puka. Oh, no, this is a trade thing. Okay, he said he starts 3 flexes. JT, Moss, Puka for Eckler and Kamara.
Oh man. I mean, JT Moss. Okay, let's say JT and Puka for Eckler and Kamara. Because come on,
Yeah,
you're not starting. Zach Moss is just a JT handcuff, right? Like you're not starting Zach Moss when JT is playing. Like
unless
he gets
JT gets traded, and then you got 2 starting running backs.
Yeah, JT's
But
not
okay,
getting
for
traded.
now, let's just assume JT
This
is
isn't,
a goal.
this isn't
All right,
baseball.
so Puka,
this isn't baseball where like everybody just trades everybody the trade deadline. Like baseball trade. I will say that one thing exciting about baseball is the trade deadline. It's like,
oh yeah,
this team's best players traded. This team's trading their best. Everybody's trading away their best players. It's crazy, right? It doesn't usually happen in the NFL, but you never know. But anyways, it's like JT and Puka for Eckler and Kamara, right? So it really comes down for me. Like certainly, I prefer Eckler over JT. I'm taking Eckler over JT. Now the question for me is, does Puka fall far enough with Kupp to make him and Kamara close? Because I'm not very high on Kamara.
right. I mean, even if we just pretend Moss isn't part of this, right? Like he's a backup, whatever. JT and Puka for Eckler and Kamara. I mean, it feels like it's close. This is tough. I feel like I think it's a little much for Eckler. I think I'd rather have the JT side actually.
I mean, that's kind of how I'm feeling, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not just saying that because of how good Puka's been. Like I'm trying to look ahead to like what do I envision Puka's role going forward? And is that so much? Is it going to be like significantly better than Kamara to where the difference between Eckler and JT isn't as big? So, I mean, I'm just so low on Kamara. I probably take the JT Puka side.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I think I'm leaning towards the JT side. Carl wants to know if somebody dropped OBJ, is he fantasy relevant?
No.
Sorry, not interested. Nelson Aguilar might be a better pickup. Rough times needs a receiver and a flex. Nico Pittman, Brees. Well,
Pittman, definitely Pittman.
Pittman at receiver and Nico at the flex.
Oh, yeah, I'll flex Nico in PPR. I do like Brees, but he's pretty risky too. So, give me Pittman and Nico.
And then at tight end, Ferguson, Henry, or Ertz.
I mean, Ferguson could score, but if it's my team, I'm probably going Ertz. I just like the matchup. I like the usage he's getting. Josh Dobbs has actually been pretty good. Again, I just want to if I'm just grabbing a tight end like this, it's like just give me my like 4 or 5 catches for 40 yards and let's get on to week 6. I don't need to like get the guy who might get 1 or 2 catches but could also score. Like, just give me here. I'm just going Ertz.
Yeah, that's a rough matchup for Ferguson with the 49ers. Yeah, I would go Ertz too. I think Kevin also wants to know if someone dropped Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, you got to pick up Dameon Pierce. I mean, like this, you know what I mean? Like, how do you drop Dameon Pierce? I know he hasn't been good, but still, like, who did they drop Dameon Pierce for? Like,
Jaleel McLaughlin, maybe.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, you prefer McLaughlin rest of the season than Dameon Pierce, who's getting pretty much all the work in that backfield? Like, yeah, pick up Dameon Pierce.
Like, I know Pierce has been disappointing for sure. He's still a starting running back in the NFL. He still has some value. I mean, if it's an 18 league, okay, fine. But other than that, yeah, pick him up and just stash him. Ryan Torres. Let's start sit here with 2 flex. T-Law, Fields. Who are you going at quarterback?
T-Law. Yeah, I'm going T-Law. I'm going
T-Law. Bijan and Tony, you're good there. Got Cook and Stevenson. Sun God, Olave, Ridley, Wilson, Addison. Could be feeling a Wilson game, considering him as a flex. We got 2 flexes, so let's see. What do we think?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're starting Bijan and Tony Pollard. You're starting Sun God and Olave. Yeah, I'm flexing Ridley and Wilson.
Yep.
I like Wilson this week. It's the first week. Look, I loved him week 1, but that was before Aaron Rodgers snapped his Achilles after 4 snaps. I have not liked him since. I'm all over Garrett Wilson this week. Give me all the Garrett Wilson this week. So it's the Broncos. I can't wait. I can't wait for Monday when everybody's like, Zach Wilson's back, Garrett Wilson's back, because they played the Broncos. I'm very, very much looking forward to that.
Selling high. Worried about Ridley going forward? No, not really. Austin wants to know, do you flex Flowers or Kirk?
I think you still got to go Kirk. I do like Flowers this week, but Kirk has been great, and like Kirk has a history of being great. It's not like Kirk just came out of nowhere and started doing this. Like, you know what I mean? So right. I still got to go Kirk.
Going Kirk too. Both solid, but go Kirk. Tua or Fields this week? It's got to be Tua.
Got to be Tua. At home against the Giants, give me Tua. He could put up video.
Then Dragon, Garrett Wilson or Jacoby Myers.
Ooh, I like them both, but I'm going Garrett Wilson this week. I'm going Garrett Wilson. It's the Broncos. It's like they're not just a bad defense. They're like one of the worst defenses we've seen in a really, really long time. Like a really long time. And yeah, I mean, I'm going Garrett Wilson. I think he has upside this week.
Garrett Wilson has even managed to make a couple of plays even before Zach Wilson had his one good game. I mean, even against good defenses. Yeah, go with Garrett Wilson this week.
Yeah.
Produced by Sid, I guess. Jordan Love and Njoku for Flowers. He already has Lawrence and Pitts. Well, I don't know if Pitts counts, but still, I would do this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would do it. I would definitely do it. Definitely.
You're giving up a backup quarterback and a tight end that doesn't really need to be rostered anymore to get a good receiver. Yeah. Do it. Jason. What's up, Jason? One flex. Mostert, McLaurin, Hollywood, or Gus. One flex in PPR.
I think in PPR, I'm going Terry. I mean, I still like Mostert this week. Mostert could have one of those like 2 touchdown games, but we know he's not going to catch many passes. Although I think he caught a couple last week, but he's not going to catch a lot of passes. McLaurin against the Bears. I mean, that should be a smash spot for McLaurin, and it's PPR. I'm going McLaurin here.
It's something to put Mostert in the lineup because you're feeling like it could be another huge game. But it might not be because now HN is there and he might be even kind of taking over. Go McLaurin. I think you're fine there. And then Cousins or Dobbs?
Definitely Cousins. At home against the Chiefs, give me Cousins.
Yeah. Look, I know it wasn't a great week last week. That's because they didn't need to pass the ball that much. Cousins much better in fantasy than real life. But Dobbs is fine if you need a streamer because you have Herbert or somebody. But go Cousins this week. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Ahmad, I think you answered your own question here. Waller or Ingram?
I mean, you can't start Waller.
And then especially after reading this, it's like, are you really giving him a second chance?
I mean, I can't believe you haven't rage dropped Waller after this. Yeah. Have you not rage dropped him? Especially when if I had Evan Ingram, I am dropping Waller. No problem. If somebody else wants Waller, they can have him. I got Ingram. I'm good.
All right. And then Dan Jr., Higbee, or Kittle?
I think I know I've been railing on Kittle, who for some reason gets a free pass in fantasy. But I think I'm still going Kittle here. Because, I mean, what is Higbee's upside, really? Like, what's his upside, really? Especially if Kupp is back. Like, what's his upside if Kupp is back? Like,
well, yeah.
He high-fives Kupp after his 15-catch performance? Like, what? Like, really? Like, what's his
That's the highlight. Right? His ESPN highlight is that. It's like celebrating in the end zone with the whole
exactly.
offense after somebody else scores. Yeah. I know Kittle's been disappointing, but it's not like Higbee's been doing anything like the world on fire. It has to be Kittle.
Yeah,
Pitts
still
on the
going.
wire.
No.
Leave him there.
Yeah, I'll leave him there for now.
He's the only guy who's been worse than Kittle.
Yeah.
All right. Vinny with another one. Need a flex Watson, Stevenson, or Gibbs?
This is definitely Watson for me. I wouldn't say it's time to give up on Gibbs, but for like I said, Gibbs is like an RB2 if you need him. He's not a guy I want to flex. He's definitely not an RB1. He's an RB2 if you need him. So Watson has tons of upside in this matchup against the Raiders this week. Give me Watson.
Yeah, it's not like Gibbs is doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, of course,
Right.
we're fresh in our mind is Monty going crazy, throwing, 3 touchdowns and 121 yards. That's not going to happen every week. Gibbs will get there. It might take time. Don't give up on Gibbs. No, don't sell low or anything like that. But Watson. Daniel Wright. Trade Kelsey and Olave for Adams and Waddle.
I think on the surface it's good at actually, I don't know. I mean, I think what it would come down to for me is two things. Number one, like behind Olave, who are your wide receivers? Like if your wide receiver 2 is, like we were seeing earlier, like Michael Thomas, guys like that, like really not wide receiver 2 types. And maybe you have Laporta sitting on the bench because you grabbed him. And it's like, hey, like, no, Laporta's not going to be as good as Kelsey, but Laporta's good enough. Then, yeah, I probably do it because you can't roll with Olave and like Michael Thomas or, whoever, Tutu Atwell as your wide receiver 2, right? Guys like that. But if behind Olave you have good wide receivers and you're like, well, I'm going to go to the waiver wire and grab Luke Musgrave, then nah, I'm keeping Kelsey and Olave.
This is a trade where it's really all about, like you said, roster and need.
Yeah.
Because talent-wise, this is even. 2 stud receivers for a stud receiver and stud tight end. I mean, there's no clear winner of this trade. It's just, yeah, do you have a tight end that's good enough to play or that you can pick up and stream? And are you doing this assuming that you're getting Adams and Waddle side because you feel like you're lacking in wide receiver depth, right? Is your wide receiver 3, like Elijah Moore or something? If that's the case, then do this deal. You know what I mean? It's easier to make up a deficit from tight end than, a solid receiver. But the only thing is if you do trade Kelsey away, then you risk, not having the Swift luck here with you. The NFL won't have your back, I
don't know if you saw in our redraft league too, I made a pretty big trade today. And I did get Kelsey, and I can't sit here and say I'm not nervous about it. I am very nervous for Travis Kelsey with Taylor Swift. Like
you should be happy because now it's basically right there. It's rigged in his favor. He's going to be, starting. I mean, he was already number 1 tight end. What else can he do? But he's going to be putting up numbers like never before.
Oh,
because he can't go out there and bust when she's watching, when all the, the new audience is watching. Anyways, let's not get into that. This is a slippery slope that we're falling down really quickly. Run CMC run. Julio, what are your thoughts on Addison, Tank Dell, and Gibbs? Don't give up on Gibbs. I have them on my bench permanently. Never going to start them. They're permanently on his bench.
Yeah, I think they're all guys that I think still have great potential this year. So they're definitely stashable. They're definitely not disposable. Streamable for Kirk and Achane? Definitely not. Not yet. Definitely not. Look, maybe a guy like Addison or Dell could become streamable for a guy like Kirk. And look, maybe Gibbs can even become streamable for a guy like Achane, but they're not there yet.
Yeah. Not disposable. There's no reason to drop these guys. They're good pickups. They're good. There's going to be a time when buys come, the heavy bye weeks, injuries happen. You might need these guys. And Addison, we're saying, is a good buy low right now. So keep those guys. You're good. Emilio, thank you again, as always, 4-0. And then, by the way, just as a reminder, everyone, although we would love to say that was 40,000 American dollars, it is not. But we do still appreciate
Yes.
whatever it is. That's not the point. But yeah, we're not rich off of this. Fields, Ahar, Mondre, Pacheco, Adams, Ayuk, Chase, Kittle, Moss, Jimmy G, Spears, Johnson, Mims, picked up McLaughlin, Wilson, and Ferguson, Murray, Breida, and Gus in the waiver wire. I mean,
I still don't think I'm starting Ferguson over Kittle. Like, there's nobody on your bench that I'm starting over what you have. Well, maybe Moss.
I was gonna say Moss is in the flex right now, but who would you put over him?
But yeah, who are you putting
This
over?
bench, you know what? I would like to say maybe you can pick up Gus and flex Gus this week, but who are you dropping would be the question.
Moss.
Just dropping him outright.
Yeah, what are we holding Moss for? I mean, we're just hoping to get JT at some point gets traded. Like, they only have a few more weeks to trade him.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I would say though, look, if he's got Kittle, he doesn't really need a backup tight end like Ferguson. You're not starting Ferguson this week.
Yeah, you could drop Ferguson too for Gus, because I would definitely rather flex Gus than Moss this week, especially if JT is back. I mean, even if JT doesn't play, I'd still rather flex Gus than Moss this week. But other than that, yeah, I don't see anything. And nah, you don't need to pick up Murray, and you definitely don't. Barkley, if Barkley isn't back this week, he's almost certainly going to be back next week, and I doubt you're going to start Breida this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would say is you don't need Ferguson. Just drop him for Gus and then put Gus instead of Moss. So, and then we got Shaboy Poppy traded Mixon Hollywood for JT. Win.
Yeah, I think that's a win. I definitely think that's a win. I don't think it's like a fleecing or anything, but I think it's a win, especially when you're 4-0. Yeah, it's a win.
Right. I think that does sort of matter in this case, but yeah, I'd prefer JT. I don't think you're gonna really cry missing those two guys. Juan Pablo Guerrero. I don't see the question here, so gonna keep looking for it. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. As soon as I do see a question or a comment attached, we'll put it up on the big board. Meanwhile, let's get to our member Mary Jo. Musgrave or Ertz?
I think just go with Ertz. Because I do like Musgrave. I really like Musgrave, but he plays Monday night and he's in the concussion protocol. And I feel like this year, guys just really aren't clearing. Like, did they change the testing or something? Like the requirements? Like, I really feel like nobody comes back week 1 anymore. Like, it used to be like sometimes like a guy would clear in time, but now it's like a guy can have like a little minor, like, well, I shouldn't ever call it concussion minor, but what appears to be minor, like he's walking off the field like, I'm fine. And then like he's out the next week. So
yeah, something that in past years would be like, get back in there. Like, there is no protocol.
So I think just go with Ertz this week. Because I think Ertz will be good. He's got a great matchup, and don't risk it. Because what are you going to do Monday night if they're like, okay, Musgrave didn't clear the concussion protocol, and you're like, well, who do I have to go pick up? Like, you go pick up that Pueblo guy or whoever it was last Pierre, I don't even know his name. The Packers tight end that actually caught a couple passes last week after Musgrave left. Yeah, so you don't know his name either. It's fine. Nobody knows his name. Packers fans probably. My cousin probably knows his name because he's a huge Packers fan, but that's it.
All right. So go Ertz. We'll go Ertz. And then, yeah, here's Juan Pablo's question. Record is 1-3. All right. You got Burrow. That's part of the problem. Got Barkley. That's also part of the problem. Pacheco. Got Puka, though. Debo and Watson. Waller. Okay. This looks like a 1-3 team, right? You've got a couple of busts, and you've got some guys who just haven't played. What can we do with this team?
I mean, I'm not starting Waller unless there's just nothing on your waiver wire. I mean, if like you're looking at your waiver wire and it's like Irv Smith and guys like that, then sure. But
actually, so sorry, you did put. Now it makes sense. 1 of 2. So here's the second comment. I guess there's a character limit. Okay, so this is the starting lineup. This is the bench, and then he has a trade offer. So here we go. Stroud, Michael Wilson, Tutu, Shaheed, and Musgrave has a trade offer for Debo, Tutu, and Shaheed for Pittman and Ford.
So he's giving up Debo, Tutu, and Shaheed. Yeah, I do this. I don't even know if Debo will be significantly better than Pittman, and Ford, I still like him. Like Ford's getting almost all the touches. Like the only time he's not getting touches, like last week again, like in garbage time, it was like Pierre Strong was getting carries, but it's garbage time. And then I would say I start Stroud. I'm going to start Stroud over Burrow this week. Can you put his lineup back up? So I take that trade, get Pittman and Ford. Can we see his lineup? There we go. I'm starting Stroud over Burrow.
Yeah, this week for sure.
I'll put Pittman in over Debo because now you're going to have Pittman. Again, I'm going to say, I don't know who's on the waiver wire, but I would start a lot of tight, like Ferguson, Ertz. Man, I might even start Jonnu Smith over Waller, to be honest with you. I'm not even joking.
Hell, at this point, I might even pick up Jimmy Graham and start him over Waller.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson's hurt.
So go grab. But what are you going to do if Barkley's out?
Yeah, that's the only thing. But this
Ford is on bye.
Yeah, that's the only thing because you can't play Ford. You don't have any running backs on the bench, apparently. You're going to have to stream somebody at running back. I don't know who. I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, Breida, because Barkley's not playing. But long term, I think this is a better deal for you. Pittman and Ford. Because you can start Ford every week.
Yes.
Except for this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do this. I would think this will help you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Juan Pablo, and good luck. And then we got TT Dobbs for Brees.
Give me Brees. I mean, look, I like Dobbs, but what are we really expecting from Dobbs? Like, is Dobbs going to be like a guy? Like, yeah, Dobbs is fine. Like, you need him as a flex. He works, but he's not a guy you really want to like put in your lineup every single week. I realize Brees hasn't been that guy this year either, and he may not get back to that guy. He may not. But at least he has that potential, right? Like, at least he has that potential. So, give me Brees.
Yeah, Dobbs at this point, got to remember, Christian Watson just played his first game, and he was limited, right? He's not full go, really, until this week. He should be. He's like kind of a upside wide receiver 3 type, right? Brees Hall, not RB1 material this year for lots of reasons, but he could be a guy that gets better as the season goes on. Having a guy who you could at least slot in at RB2, yeah, I would take Brees Hall. And then wondering what trades to do with guys like Madison and Mondre. I mean, probably not too much. If you had to trade one, I think the guy I would rather trade is Madison, but I don't know what you're getting for him other than like a wide receiver 4 type. Well, maybe a wide receiver 3 type.
I mean, Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, there you go. Flip Madison back to get Dobbs. No.
Yeah, I mean, Madison's the guy you want to. Madison's the guy you want to trade, but mainly because he actually has some value. Right now, Ramondre, people are like panicked on Ramondre. So,
right, yeah. Tegan Powell, flex, Michael Wilson or Drake London. This is where we're at, and I get it. Trust me, I totally get it.
Yeah, this is definitely the crying emoji here. I mean, I don't want to get too like recency biased. But what are we really getting? I mean, Drake London, it's like he's getting. I don't know if you saw that stat that I posted today, the catchable rate. Kyle Pitts dead last. Only 57 of his targets catchable. Drake London second to last, 58. Third to last, whatever. It's yeah, like
not good. It's not
too good. Yeah, two good players getting wasted by horrendous quarterback play. I guess Wilson. I don't know.
You might as well. It's not a bad spot for him. Bengals are okay pass defense. So yeah, go Wilson. Go for the upside. And then a quick one from Kyle. Would you trade Stevenson and Jaden Reed for Derrick Henry? Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to do this. You have to.
Must have a Patriots fan there. They're giving up Derrick Henry to get Ramondre. Let's see. Big Luscious with the flex, Addison or Kirk?
Definitely Kirk.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you got to go Kirk. I mean, he's basically been the number one receiver in that offense, and there should be a lot of, well, maybe not scoring, but they should have to pass the ball a lot. Jerry Peroto, what kind of RB can Herbert get? Have Stroud and so he's talking Justin Herbert. He's got Stroud and Purdy doing terrible at running back. So if you have the number one quarterback and you're okay starting one of those guys as backup, I think you're in on this kind of move in general, right?
Yeah, definitely. But you should get a pretty decent running back in return. I mean, you're not going to get like a stud, but you should at least get like a high end RB2. Like again, I probably should have put. I thought about putting Travis Etienne on the buy low, but I wasn't sure how people felt about him. But
What about Derrick Henry?
yeah, but see, he just had a big game, and now people are like, "Oh wait, no wait, never mind. This is Derrick Henry, right?" Like it, if it was some random dude, maybe, but it's Derrick Henry, so he just had a big game. People are, "Oh, never mind. Derrick Henry's fine. He's awesome." But Etienne hasn't really had any big games yet.
No, I definitely think you could get Etienne for Herbert. I'm wondering personally, is that enough? Like, I would probably try to aim a little bit higher, but then how high can you go before it's like ridiculous? Like, I don't think you can get Pollard, maybe Pollard.
Ooh, I mean, look, if somebody's going to give you Pollard for Herbert, take it. But that's like
Yeah, because he's coming off
terrible.
a kind of a down game himself.
I mean, if you can do it, dude. Look, we get some crazy trades in here, but I mean, I'm just gonna. That's a horrible trade.
But look, people love having that elite
No,
quarterback.
I know you're
He's
right. I mean,
he's
look, it's worth trying.
the quarterback one. The quarterback one.
It's worth trying. I mean, it's worth trying.
But I
For
would say
me,
generally,
okay. I guess I'm looking at it like for me, like I would. I mean, I wouldn't even give you Etienne for Herbert. I'd be like, get out of here. I'll stream QB. It's fine. I'm like, get out of here with that. Like to me, even if you even ask for Etienne for Herbert, I would laugh at you. But I get not everybody is like that. So, like yeah, I mean, if you can get Tony Pollard for Justin Herbert, I mean, yeah, do it.
yeah, and got to remember, like, you and I, of course, we'd be like, no way, this is, but Jerry, he's in the end game. He's looking at it the right way. His league
Right.
mates probably aren't, and that's why
True.
he's taking this and he's using it to his advantage because he knows there's somebody out there who will take Justin Herbert and give it an elite running back. Probably.
Yeah, there might be.
I would say start high. Don't insult anybody. Don't look for CMC. You're not going to get CMC. Don't ask the CMC owner. Probably not Bijan. But look, Saquon Barkley hurt, hasn't played. Why not? Try for Saquon. Try for a Derrick Henry type, and then work your way down if those don't work. And then before we take a little pause, this is a tough one. Crypto Swell.
I mean, you gotta take Taylor Swift here.
This is easily the Swift side. Like
Yeah.
that's
I'm not even a Swiftie, but I'm taking the Taylor Swift side here.
Yeah, I think even non-Swifties would say this is a no-brainer. Okay. But before we get to the rest of the Super Chats, this is a good time for me to pause because we're about at halftime unofficially. We don't have a clock or anything. But I just want to remind anybody who is watching, didn't get to see at the very top of the show, reminder, you have realistically, a few hours left. This is the last day for Underdog where they're doing this promotion where, if you're a new customer, you get that deposit match. We've been talking about it all season, basically, since we started with them. Use promo code ENDGAME, just like that, and you get that match just for today, the rest of tonight. It's $500. So that means you don't have to put in $500. That's not what it means. It means you can go all the way up to 500, and every dollar you put in, they will match it, giving you basically $1 for every dollar you deposit into your brand new account. All right, so that's for new customers. And if you are a new customer, then as soon as you sign up, you can use that freebie right there at the very top. You see Justin Fields higher than 1 yard. So basically you're getting a free pick 'em, and then you combine it with anything else, you could automatically triple your money or even go higher, go for the gold. And then you also have another 100K Sunday, and this is for anybody, right? You don't have to be new user to use this. Just use the George Kittle pick, higher or lower. It doesn't even matter. You just automatically get entered, and found out that this week, the 100K Sunday isn't just 10 people winning. It's 100. Oh no, 1,000 people winning $100. All right, so a lot better chance to win something. Not as big a prize, but a lot more people will win. So I would definitely take advantage of that. In fact, I'm going to take advantage of that. I haven't won the last 2 weeks, but I think I'm feeling good. This is my week. So there you go. Use promo code Endgame. Just make sure you do that to take advantage of all those things. All right. And then let's get back to Tegan Powell with another one. PPR 12-man Sharks team. I'm not sure what that means. Watson and Dobbs, Stevenson, Harris, Chase and Puka, Kittle, Flex got Flowers, Evans, London, Wilson, Rashawn, Elliott. Ooh, Spears, Jeff Wilson, Hurting at RB and tight end. What do you think about trade ideas? Got Najee as the RB2.
Stevenson is the RB1.
Stevenson is RB1. Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to stand pat with Kittle and just hope for better days, because I don't think you need to trade for a tight end, because you already need to trade for a running back. I mean,
yeah, you need to trade for a running back. And like you got Flowers. Evans will hopefully be okay after the bye. I mean, you really don't have much behind him, actually. You got London, Michael Wilson.
not a lot of trade value on that bench, unfortunately.
I mean, Puka is obviously the one, but his value is starting to drop because Cooper Kupp's in the news now, right? Like, he's practicing. Like, you're not going to get what you would have gotten for Puka a couple weeks ago. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, this is tough. There's not a lot. There's not a lot here you can do.
And the team doesn't have, like, a Justin Herbert or, a Lamar Jackson to a combo or something where you can trade off the quarterback to get a player, because nobody's really trading for Watson right now, nor should they. I think Puka is the only guy you really can trade that's worth trading.
Yeah. Got to try to trade. I mean, look, you could probably go get Travis Etienne for Puka.
I think so.
I mean, maybe you could still get Tony Pollard for Puka. I don't know how high Puka mania is right now. He just came off a huge game, so.
Yeah, there's still believers. And look, I haven't been putting him up, but I've seen several comments, different people saying, like, what are you talking about? Kupp's not coming back. He's not even close to healthy. He's, whatever. Some people don't believe that Kupp is actually going to play. Okay, I mean, we'll see. But
even though he practiced today, but okay. Okay.
Conspiracy theories or whatever. Like, if they say it must be false. Like, the media is lying, but whatever. It happens, but still. All right.
They opened up his 21-day window today, but okay.
Yeah. Facts. Stop letting facts get in the way of narratives.
Okay, yeah, try to trade Puka. Apparently, I mean, there's got to be people who still believe in Puka who think Kupp is done. Like, Kupp's never going to play in the NFL again. So, try to trade Puka.
Yeah, that's about it. I think, and don't worry about tight end. Just leave it alone for now. What is up? Rise above anything. Could definitely do that. Now, look, Devontae Adams has been rumored since before the season to be a trade candidate. He's not too crazy that Derek Carr left. He's not too crazy that, well, the Raiders are still the Raiders. Can't be too crazy about everything that's going on there. What if he goes to the Chiefs?
I mean, what if I win the lottery? Like, what would the path be for him going to if the Chiefs really, like, how are the Chiefs going to do this?
They're not.
They can't. There's just no way. They like, what would they give the Raiders, and how would they make it work with his salary? They couldn't even pay DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason because they had no money. They're like, we can't even pay you what you want. There's no way they could take on Adams' contract. This is like a Madden thing right here. This is a Madden. Like, if he went to the Chiefs, I mean, yeah, he would break fantasy football, but he's not. So,
yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are making any splash moves at receiver, because why would they? Because they never have. Juice 420. I think this one is pretty easy. Neither. I mean, Jimmy G should be back, and Mitch Trubisky, sorry to say, because was it Keith? I think just picked him up in the fishbowl. Yeah, they just announced Kenny Pickett's good to go. He's going to play next week. So
yeah, so it's probably going to be neither. Text, yeah, game over. Say congrats to your opponent. Move on to week 6, I guess.
Yeah, which by the way, I really wish that those emojis would show, because I don't know why they just translate the text on here, because then this would be appropriate. Well, some of them do. Like, what is this? This is like,
all right.
Why do some? I don't get it. All right. JP went double hero RB, and you picked the right ones. You got Bijan and Pollard. That was good. Working okay, but then here's the problem. Wide receiver flex or mid, and that means you're starting, 2 receivers in a flex from, Ridley, Flower, DJ Moore, Watson, London. You have good receivers.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm going Ridley and Watson at wide receiver. I'm flexing Flowers.
Yeah.
I'm flexing Flowers. I like him this week. So I'm going Ridley, Watson, Flowers, which isn't even bad for going RB. I assume you went Bijan, Pollard, and then Lamar in the third. Like, that was your start. Wow, it's not bad, actually.
It's working. It must be working. I know Ridley hasn't put up numbers the last couple of weeks. He's at least scored touchdowns. He hasn't been, like a total non-factor, and I think he gets better. Flowers have been solid. DJ Moore actually has been solid most weeks, and then now you got Watson back, so you're pretty good. Go Ridley, Watson, and Flowers. Van Man. Drop Muth for Komet.
I guess. Why not? I mean, isn't Muth going to miss like 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, Muth's definitely not playing this week, and I think I saw it was 2, maybe 3 weeks. So there's no reason not to drop him. I mean, Komet, sure, is probably the best upside guy. Maybe Musgrave, but that's risky. Just go Komet. Steven, welcome back, Steven. Who to start, Lamar or Richardson?
I mean, you got to start Lamar this week. It's not like there's nothing about this matchup that should scare you. I like these guys both, but you got to start Lamar.
Yeah, you got to start Lamar. I mean, take your pick. They probably will both go off this week. I mean, you're good either way, but nothing about Lamar's matchup is going to make me want to not play him. And then, getting lowballed, that's fine. Wait till Richardson blows up this week. Then maybe someone would be more interested. If Kupp doesn't go, Pickens or Atwell.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, I guess if Kupp doesn't go, Atwell still has some value, but over Pickens, I mean, I don't know if it matters that Kenny Pickett's back, but I'm still going Pickens.
I mean, Kenny Pickett with a bum knee. I mean, just when you think OC. Kenny Pickett can't get worse, now he's playing with a bum knee where he can't plant or move. I don't know. I guess Pickens, but I hate it.
Don't like it, but go Pickens. And then Clyde. Would you play Fields over Richardson?
No, I'm playing Richardson. No way. Definitely Richardson.
Yeah. Not no way. Like, it's not impossible, but which sounds weird to say. I'm not going to take the chance. Just go with the rookie. Go with Richardson. Richardson been doing better. So, wide receiver slot, tight end slot, 2 flex spots, 4 spots for Kelsey, Andrews, Ayuk, Waddle, Wilson, Pittman. Okay.
Kelsey in at tight end. Ayuk and Waddle. Man. So you got to bench one of these guys. I guess I'm benching Garrett Wilson. Even though it's the Broncos. I mean, it's still Zach Wilson. So I guess I'm going Kelsey at tight end, and then I'm going Ayuk, Waddle, Pittman, wide receiver in the flexes.
Yeah, I like Pittman this week. That's who I put. Of course, you have to start Waddle. Definitely want Ayuk in there. I feel like I remember this team. I was like, why do you have Kelsey and Andrews? And then he's flexing, I guess, one of them. I still feel like you could get a really good receiver if you trade away one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
What's up, Ali? Definitely friend of the show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Not asking about the Jets running backs. Thank you. Finally.
Yes.
Finally. I was willing this into existence for you. Don't have to worry about Cook. One receiver, one flex. John Dotson, London, Edwards, Spears. Thinking Dotson, Edwards. I think that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too.
I think that's a smart play. Dotson got the Bears, like Edwards matchup. That's a smart play, yes.
And we've been telling people hold on to Dotson because look, he hasn't put up big numbers, but he's getting targeted. Offense is coming around, looking better. I think Dotson could have a good week this week, and then Edwards too. Like Edwards, you can't start Spears yet, and you just don't want to start London. And then this, let's see, we got almost ace. Got Jefferson and Ridley, Terry at the flex. Should I risk not playing Terry for Kupp?
I mean, I'm not saying like I wouldn't word it. Should I risk not playing Terry for Kupp? My thing is like if Kupp plays, I'm playing Kupp.
Right.
Like it's Cooper
Not a
Kupp.
risk necessarily.
Yeah, it's Cooper Kupp. It's not, it's Cooper Kupp. I'm playing him.
Yeah.
And I'm living with that decision one way or the other.
I think you'll be okay playing Cooper Kupp, unless you hear, oh, he's only going to run a few routes or whatever. But
Even okay, let's say Cooper Kupp only ran 50% of the routes. He's going to get targeted on half of them, so it'll probably still be good.
This is true. All right. Yeah, it's not a huge risk. Look, like I said, it might not be necessarily a Terry Dotson week. It could just be a Brian Robinson week, but we'll see. Trone Force, 12 team, 2-2. Here's the roster. It's not bad. It's pretty, got some good players. The bench is a little iffy. Any suggestions?
Yeah, bench is a little iffy, but what are you going to do? I mean, you don't want to get rid of Chase and Adams. You don't want to get rid of Swift and Monty. You don't want to get rid of Mahomes or Andrews. So, yeah, bench is a little iffy, but you got potential there. You got Dobbs. I like Rice. You got Wilson. Is that Miles Sanders? I mean, Miles Sanders is fine if you need him as an RB2. Spears. I mean, you could probably drop Kareem Hunt and Jeff. I mean, Jeff Wilson's on your IR, but I mean,
save the space.
Yeah.
Clear up the space on the screen. Declutter your screen on the sleeper.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
drop Hunt, but yeah, you got some upside. Look, if these guys stay on the field, don't worry about the bench because you got a really good starting lineup. So I think you're fine. And then we got NVCO 4-0. Tua, AJ Zay, Cook, 8-Chan, Kelsey Jones on the bench, Davis, Sutton, London, Cooper, T-Law. Was offered Mixon and Olave for 8-Chan and Flowers.
Ooh, man.
This is interesting. This is a tricky one.
This is a good trade offer, whoever sent this to you. Because it's like, hey, look, here's Joe Mixon and Chris Olave, and I just want like Achane and Flowers. I mean, I'm just asking for Achane and Flowers. It's like, come on, you know what I mean? This is a savvy offer right here. Because it's hard not to just say, give me Mixon and Olave.
I mean, feels pretty fair because I would rather have Olave than Flowers, of course, but I think right now I'd rather have Achane than Mixon. For this roster, looking at it, the upside, I think there's a little bit more upside at receiver than running back because the RB1 here is, I guess, is Achane and the RB2 is Cook.
Yeah, I guess so. And
So
you got AJ Brown, but Zay Flowers is your wide receiver too. I mean, I guess maybe Amari Cooper when he's not on bye.
Yeah, I got Cooper, London, and Sutton. I don't know. I might keep the Achane side.
Yeah, I think Achane, man. That's the other thing. It's like, I mean, Achane has that upside. I guess keep the Achane side, but this is a very good offer. This is a very good offer. I mean, it's a very enticing, hard to say no to offer. So whoever sent you this offer, tell them well done. Good offer.
Good offer. Also, I'd say, look, you're 4-0. You don't need to mess with what's working. I think you're fine here. Just hold tight. Boone. This is actually for me kind of tough. Start two or Richardson.
Ooh. This is actually tough. I mean, this could definitely be a video game Tua. This could be a video game week for Tua.
But he could also be like Tua against Denver, where he didn't do much because the running backs were going for 200 yards each. That's
True.
my worry. I think Richardson probably has the upside here.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, Richardson is like this close to where we're just gonna say if you have Richardson, you start him, you don't even worry about it. So,
Right.
yeah, I probably go Richardson here for that rushing. I saw a stat today. I don't know. I don't think he's QB 10, but I mean it's pretty. I thought he was like QB 12, but you know, there's different like scoring, right? Some leagues have different scoring, but
Right.
I saw somebody posted today that he's QB 10 and he's played 10 quarters. Like think about that.
Well,
Like
fantasy
everybody,
points per game, he's already among the leaders, and he didn't even finish that one game.
yeah, exactly. He's second in points per game, and he played less than half of a game. Like it's like it's absurd. So yeah, I think you got to go Richardson.
I'll go Richardson. Yeah, I think you need to. And then we got Keep Grinding. HG, Keep Grinding. Should I trade Hollywood for Mondre?
Yeah. I mean, this seems pretty fair, honestly. I know Ramondre's been bad, but I mean, he's still a running back getting all the touches, catching passes. If you're really desperate at running back and Marquise Brown, like I have a lot of leagues where I got Marquise Brown as my wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, because nobody wanted to draft Marquise Brown this year because of the Cardinals. So if that's the case, if he's like your wide receiver 5, and it's like, when is he ever going to crack your lineup? Like probably never. Then sure. And you need running back help, then sure. Take Ramondre.
Yeah, I think for this type of player, I'd take Ramondre. Hope he gets better. I think he will get better. Unless Hollywood's like your number 3 receiver that you start every week. But generally speaking, I would do this. Alejandro Olivas, trade Waddle for Debo.
No.
I'd rather have Waddle.
I prefer Waddle rest of the season. Definitely prefer Waddle.
Yeah, and this is just, receiver for receiver, so the makeup of your roster doesn't really make a big difference here. Looking at your roster, you got Saquon and Bijan. You should be set when Saquon comes back. You've got pretty good receivers. I think you're fine, but there's really no reason to do this. I don't see Debo being better on a consistent basis than Waddle. He hasn't been already. You know what I mean? It's not like you're saying,
Yeah.
Ayuk for Waddle. And then you'd have to think, well, what is Ayuk going to keep doing the rest of the season? But no, I wouldn't do this. What's up, Joe? Joe Castles. Phillip Rivers or Zach Evans? Wow. We're going deep there. Now, I'm guessing he means Ronnie Rivers. This probably supposed to be an R.
That's funny because I thought that too. I was like, oh, Phillip Rivers. It's got to be Ronnie Rivers right now. Ronnie Rivers is one of my favorite running back stashes right now, who's widely available. I got him in a couple of leagues off waivers this week for free. I did have a couple of in-game leagues where people bid like $3 for him. I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have said anything on the stream last night. But anyways, he got 11 touches last week. He had 9 carries and 2 catches. And I already talked about Kyron Williams. He's been very mediocre, to put it nicely. And Ronnie Rivers actually looked pretty good. So, look, we know how Sean McVay goes. If Ronnie Rivers starts playing better, then all of a sudden there's going to be a game where Ronnie Rivers gets all the touches and Kyron Williams is like gone. This is what Sean McVay does, right? Like we saw this with Darrell Henderson. We saw this with Cam Akers. We've seen it with Cam Akers multiple times, right? Where it's all of a sudden like Cam Akers isn't getting the ball. Like what happened? Like that. Like it'll just happen. Like it won't even be like a gradual thing, right? It'll be like one week Ronnie Rivers had 20 touches this week. What just happened? Like how did this happen? It's just how Sean McVay does it. So yeah, it's not hard for me to see a path for Ronnie Rivers suddenly being the starting running back for the Rams because it's the Rams. So I'm taking Ronnie Rivers right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like Zach Evans better, but Ronnie Rivers is the one who's getting on the field, so you have to like him better. You have to prefer him in fantasy just because he's getting touches, actual touches. Like in Dynasty, I'd rather stash Zach Evans, but in redraft league, it's Rivers. But yeah, you're right. So Sean McVay is basically with running backs. He's like the epitome of that other meme, the one with the guy and the girl. He's like
Exactly.
current running back one, and then whoever the guy on the bench is, he's always.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all of a sudden one game Ronnie Rivers is going to get 17 carries and Kyron's barely going to touch the ball, and then it's going to be Ronnie Rivers.
Yeah, like what happened? Like who saw that coming?
Yeah.
Randy Mitchell, welcome back. Fields or Love?
In this case, I'm going Fields. I'm going Fields here. I think Love will be okay this week, but I mean, Fields. Love doesn't like scream huge upside. Give me Fields.
Well, Love the Packers. I mean, they play Monday night. They play the Raiders, don't they? I don't know. I think he might have a huge upside. I mean, he's not a guy who's going crazy necessarily, but he could have another like 3-touchdown game. I mean, obviously, if you want to play it safer, go Love, right? If you want to shoot for the upside, go Fields. I think I might go Love if it's my team. Monty versus Sanders versus Warren. I mean, I definitely know.
It's got to be Monty. Got to be Monty.
Yeah. A Strick. Puka for Bijan.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, was any like even if they announced today like, hey, Kupp had a setback, he's out for the season. Is anybody taking Puka over Bijan right now? I mean, they probably are, right?
Some people will, but we're not. Or they shouldn't. Yeah. Puka, change Puka, yes. Get Bijan, yes. Do this immediately. Sabe-san, welcome back. Have players out for bye. Have Boyd, Moss, and Pickens. Need wide receiver or okay. I guess
I'm guessing so a flex.
Yeah, guessing a flex. And those guys are on waivers.
I mean, if are you saying you need a wide receiver, running back, or tight? Well, he says or, so I'm guessing just a flex. I mean, I'm not flexing any of those tight ends. No. I guess just give me Pickens. I'm not loving Boyd, not loving Moss against the Titans. Just give me Pickens, I guess.
Yeah. Just go with the upside of Pickens. There's no upside with Boyd right now. And then Moss, this is the wrong time. So, yeah, go Pickens out of that group. I'm not going to stream any of those other guys instead. Curtis Samuel might be interesting. He's actually done some things, and he gets the Bears. So Curtis Samuel, if he's an option, I don't know that I put him instead of Pickens, but I guess he might be my second choice.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth. Right. Randy Mitchell with another one. Mostert, Harris, Kamara. Pick 2.
Well, I'm low on Kamara, but I'm not Najee Harris low on Kamara. You can't start Najee Harris. It's got to be Mostert and Kamara.
Yeah, definitely Mostert. And yeah, right now you got to go Kamara. Samuel Piazza, Fields, or Stroud.
I think here I go Stroud. I mean, Stroud's a safer choice, and it's QB. Like, you just don't want your QB to kill you, right? So this week, it's not the best matchup for Fields on the road on a short week. I'll go Stroud.
Yeah, I think you can go Stroud, and you'll be perfectly fine. Flex, Sanders, Flowers, or Kupp. Well,
if Kupp plays, it's Kupp. Otherwise, it's Flowers.
Yeah, pretty easily there. Kupp if he plays, Flowers if he doesn't. We got Jay Luke, Brian Robinson, or, well, Barkley if he plays, and or Taylor. So you got 3 options here. So go with the safe route or one of those guys.
Well, the problem is Brian Robinson plays on Thursday.
Yeah, so we got to decide.
So if you wait and those guys don't play, what are you going to do? So, I think Brian Robinson's in a good spot this week. I think he can have a big game. you don't want to risk it if Barkley's out again and JT doesn't play, or they're like JT's going to be on a pitch count or something. Just go with Brian Robinson.
Yeah. In this case, the matchup is good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be worried about leaving points on the table if I have Brian Robinson on the lineup. Like I said, I'm not totally sold on putting JT in your lineup. If you have a good option, this is a good option. You know, Barkley, there's the risk that the Giants are still terrible. You know. All right, and then we got another new member. Thank you, Marcismo, 55. Appreciate you. All right, next super chat is from him. 1-3 team. Would you start Goff or T-Law?
I'm still going T-Law. I do like Goff. He's at home, but this doesn't scream like big Goff week. I mean, it's the Panthers. It's not a team that like they play super slow. I mean, we just saw like the Vikings against the Panthers last week. Like that Vikings offense looked totally different. So I'm still going T-Law.
Yeah, I'm going with Lawrence this week. Should be fine. Just not feeling a big off week, like you said. I think this is sort of related to what you were just saying with Carolina and the offense. I just think it's funny after they keep losing and Bryce Young looking bad that they immediately throw out there like it's the receiver's fault. He doesn't have a true wide receiver one. Like that's what the issue is. Like it couldn't be the coaching or the play calling or just Bryce Young himself. Like it's the receivers. Like don't you feel like they're getting scapegoated here? And you know, imagine that receiver room. They're like, how are they feeling now?
Yeah, they're not gonna. Who are they gonna trade for?
That's a PR thing. The Truth has Devontae Adams and Puka. Who to flex? Zay, Myers, Reynolds, Dobbs, or Garrett Wilson?
It was an easy choice until you threw Garrett Wilson in there. I think I got to go Garrett Wilson. I just do. I mean, I do like Zay Flowers this week. I do like Jacoby Myers this week. It's the Broncos. I mean, there's so. I mean, let's remember what we saw from Justin Fields weeks 1 through 3. And then what we saw from Justin Fields in week 4. Like, it wasn't even the same guy, right? It was like somebody replaced Justin Fields with somebody. Like, it was like not the same guy. Like, that's just how bad this defense is. So I'm going Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, the choice here is between Flowers and Wilson. Like, that's it. Between those two. You know, I love me some Zay Flowers, but like I said, he has been to this point mostly a floor play. He hasn't had any big games. Yeah, go for Garrett Wilson. Just try the matchup and see what happens. Hope that Zach Wilson doesn't go back to being Zach Wilson. He definitely looked like he was like having an out of body experience last week because he actually didn't look like a terrible quarterback. And Marcismo with another one, PPR, 2 receiver and a flex, have Puka, Waddle, Olave, and more. Who to sit?
Man. Well, I'll say if 2 receivers and a flex, I mean, you got to sit more. Yeah.
You got to sit more.
Sit more.
Even if Kupp does play this week, I still think you can play Puka. Definitely can play Puka. I think I'll still put him over Moore. Moore could have a good game, but I still think Puka is going to be valuable. Not as valuable, of course, but yeah, Puka, Waddle, Olave, Sidmore. Rizzy K, Stevenson or Ridley in full PPR. This is kind of I think a no-brainer.
Yeah, you got to play Ridley this week. Can't trust Stevenson in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely Ridley. Max Leitner with another. Just got JT and Amar. He did it. Did the 4 for 2.
Nice.
I'm a fan of this trade. I mean, I know you don't like to be light on depth, but again, at the end of the day, what matters? It's your starting lineup. It's having that elite upside. I don't think DK Metcalf for me is not a guy who's leading teams to the championship. HN, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, he looks like he could be fantasy MVP, but you're getting JT, right? You're not going to be lagging behind at running back here, and you got this guy. I like this trade. Scott Torpy, Bijan, Jacobs, HN, Mixon, Keenan, Amari, Judy, Pickens. Would you trade Mixon and Judy for Kupp?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Once first of all, when I saw trade Mixon and Judy, I was already saying
yes. I was like, oh yeah, do it. For who?
And then when I saw Kupp, I was like, yeah, all in, do it.
Yeah, I think it was like halfway through. You're like, do it. Yes, for Cup. Forget Sutton. Just do it just
Yeah,
for
I
Cup.
don't even need Sutton. Give me Kupp.
Yes, this is a good trade. I like this one, Rahul. Not even in like it doesn't really matter what he gets. Just help me get rid of Ramondre. I mean, you could drop
You
him, but I
can't.
wouldn't
That's
do
the
that.
thing. You can't. You can't get rid of him right now. Like what is somebody giving you for Ramondre? Like, are you like, fine, I'll take your, Michael Wilson that you just grabbed off waiver wire, or I'll take your, you know, whatever, Michael Thomas. Just give me Michael Thomas. Just give me Adam Thielen. Like, yeah, like
Well, he's saying he has these receivers. Would you target Kamara in a 2-for-1? I mean, only if the 2 with Ramondre is Thielen.
but even then, I don't even know if Kamara will be better than Stevenson the rest of the season, to be honest.
No, I agree.
No.
Just hold Ramondre, Raul. I know it's tempting to just cut ties, but he should be better. Should be better. All right, then we got you win, I quit. Wait, what? Okay. Tyreek Hill,
Okay.
CD, D Hop, Michael Pittman, Drake London, Aaron Jones, Monty Connor Mostert. 2 receivers, 2 running back, and a flex. What do you like? I'll go
Well, you
Michael
gotta go
first.
Tyreek. You gotta go Tyreek and CD at wide receiver. I'm going. Man,
These running backs are all really close.
they are all really close.
The annoying thing with Aaron Jones is he gets the Raiders. So it's like you have to consider him. Man, this is going to be the tough part is the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, it's full PPR. I really want to flex Pittman.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to bench 2 of these running backs. Because look, Monty gets Carolina at home. Carolina not very good against the run, and this could be another game where it's like Detroit's just dominating them defensively, and Monty's scoring twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Carolina 4th most fantasy points to running backs, giving up almost 5 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like, but then Connor's in a great spot, but then so is Mostert.
I'll say I'm going to go Connor over Mostert because Connor is it. Like he is the backfield for Arizona and he's got a good spot. Mostert, he might cede a little bit more touches to Achane again. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm going Connor and Monty, and I hate to leave Jones on the bench.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm going to. And then are we flexing Pittman over Jones?
I think so.
I think in PPR you kind of have to, right?
It's PPR. The Packers are throwing to the wideouts quite a bit. Watson's back. Musgrave should be back. Yeah, I'm okay. So Hill and CD receiver. We're gonna say Monty and Connor running back. Pittman at the flex. All right, still catching up on the super chats. By the way, if you did drop one in the last 20 minutes, we're getting to you. So thank you for being patient. Ethan Highland, would you trade the Sun God for Chase?
If you're getting Chase, yes. I still have Chase. Look, I like Sun God, and I think Sun God's going to be great. But it's not like Sun God has been just crushing it every week. I mean, he hasn't been bad by any stretch. But it's not like he's out there dropping, 25, 30-point games every week. I know Chase has been bad, but Chase still has that potential. And I really do think it starts this week. I really do.
Yeah, I'm still taking Chase. I mean, we've seen it the first 2 weeks, right? Didn't do much. He's been catching a ton of passes lately. Now T. Higgins out. Yeah, just go Chase. Just go Chase. Michael Cazares. What's up, Michael? Trade Walker for Brees and either Addison or Nico. This one's a little tricky. I mean, between the two, I think I would prefer Nico, but would you do this?
I mean, I do think Walker's a sell high. Like, he's not giving you a whole lot outside of touchdowns. Now he's got touchdown upside, of course, but we do this every year. We did this last year with Nick Chubb, right? Nick Chubb's going to score every game, so it doesn't matter. Same with Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is going to score every game, so it doesn't matter. But no, they don't, because this is the NFL, and believe it or not, the guys on defense, they're actually really good too. So, but is Brees and, say, Nico enough right now? That's the thing.
I think this would be something you do if Nico slots right in as your wide receiver 3 every week, right? If he upgrades your receiving core.
Yeah.
If it's just like a depth, like, oh, upside for my bench, then no, there's no point doing this.
Right. Yeah. So if you're like, hey, my wide receiver 3 right now is Michael Thomas or Jerry Jeudy or something like that, and now it's going to be Nico, then okay, probably do it, because I do think there is still, like, I'm not like completely like Brees has no chance this year. I think there's like, I don't think Brees is going to be like an RB1. But I mean, I think he could still be like an upside RB2 if he can get back close to health by the end of the season, which means he probably won't be that much worse than Kenneth Walker. So, yeah.
Especially if Charbonnet does start to get a little bit more involved. It could look, this could be a situation. I'm not too worried about Walker, but it could be a situation where Walker kind of gradually gets a little less valuable as the season goes on, and Brees gradually gets better as the season goes on, especially now no limitations. So at least I think the word is startable. Brees Hall will be at least startable every week. He has not been startable. Right. And we did not draft him at all, but it's not because we said he was going to be terrible the entire season. It's because he wasn't worth drafting. He wasn't worth drafting, but he's worth buying low. Sure.
Yeah.
This isn't a buy low, but I would take Brees and Nico as long as you're starting Nico.
Yeah.
And then we got the Docs in the house flex, Garrett Wilson or Raheem Mostert. Half PPR.
Man, this is close. I think I go Garrett Wilson. If it was non PPR, I go Raheem. But there is still the risk with Raheem Mostert, like you said, that maybe Achane is now the lead back. Maybe this week Raheem Mostert, does get less touches than Achane, and now you really are banking on a touchdown or a long run.
Which he can always do. He always has that upside. But Garrett Wilson always has the upside to go, so it's both are a little boom busty, and they both have great matchups this week. So
yeah. I think if it was me, I'm going Garrett Wilson. I really like Garrett Wilson. It's Denver's defense is just, it's bad on another level. It's not bad like, it's not bad the way, like, I don't know, another bad defense is. It's bad like it's not bad like the Bears are. It's bad like on a way, way worse level.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Garrett Wilson here for sure. Not a super chat, but what a magnificent name. Alyssa Dolphin Cloud. Very nice. All right. Which one to start? Tank Dell, Terry McLaurin, or Jacoby Myers?
I'm going Terry McLaurin here. I do like Myers, and I could see a path for Dell, but Terry McLaurin against the Bears, you gotta like that. So I'm going Terry McLaurin.
I'm going Terry also. RA wins 15, 1-3. Would you trade Eckler and Dell for Walker, AR, and Pittman, or straight up for someone like Bijan to try to get a win this week? Eckler obviously on bye.
Eckler for Bijan, I get you're 1-3, so look, and Bijan has a great matchup this week, so you're 1-3. If you want to trade Eckler straight up for Bijan, I'm okay with that. Like, I still prefer Bijan rest of the season. He's only going to get better and better. Remember, he's only played 4 NFL games. He's only going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Right.
As far as Eckler, Dell for Walker, Richardson, and Pittman, I don't know about that one. Because, I'm guessing you don't have a stud QB for trading for Anthony Richardson. Like, I'm guessing you don't have Jalen Hurts, and you're like, well, yeah, they'll take Anthony Richardson. You never know. But again, we did just talk about Kenneth Walker. It is a situation. Look, they're coming out of their bye week. We see a lot of times when teams come out of byes, rookies start getting the ball more. It's like the team goes away for the bye week and they start looking at say, okay, how do we get this guy the ball more? We could see Charbonnet start getting the ball more in week 6. And while I do like Pittman, he's not Eckler. He's definitely not Eckler. So I think on the first one, I'm keeping Eckler and Dell.
But straight up for Bijan, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you need a win this week. I could see Bijan being better than Eckler the rest of the season. Look, Bijan doesn't have an ankle injury. We don't know if Eckler is going to come back week 6 and just be great right away. He might, have to take a while to come back. These ankle injuries can linger. So, yeah, I would take Bijan over Eckler.
Right. And I would say just make sure, because you could just take it for granted, but if you do this offer and it gets processed, make sure the guy doesn't wait until the night before, and then it doesn't process until after the week is over, and then you wind up doing this and not being able to start Bijan this week. You know what I mean? Make sure it actually goes through before your game start and you can set your lineup, because if it's like Saturday night and the guy still hasn't accepted, make sure you take it off the table.
Yes.
Speaking from experience here, it happens. You're like, oh, I'll get this guy in time and start him in this week. And then, oh, wait, it didn't process until week 6. Clyde Allen with another one. 12 team standard. Okay, so Richardson, Fields, Stroud got 3 quarterbacks still. Barkley, Akers, Ford, Moss, McLaughlin. This is the 2 tight end team. That's right. Andrews and Kelsey, Pittman, Wilson, Ayuk, and Waddle. Okay, so it said you should probably trade one of those tight ends. So what are your suggestions here? Where to improve?
Well, it's a standard league.
Yes.
So that changes things a little. Because like a guy like Pittman, who I do really like, does take a hit in standard scoring, because he's not going to have a lot of he's not going to score a lot of touchdowns probably. And he's not going to have a lot of huge, 100+ yard games probably. He'll have some, but he's not going to have a lot of them, right? Whereas Andrews and Kelsey are guys that will get touchdowns. They're red zone threats in their offense. They will get touchdowns. So maybe in standard, I don't want to trade these guys.
Well, I feel like this team could use an upgraded running back, because, Akers isn't playable. McLaughlin in a standard league 12 team, you don't want to be starting him. Moss is about to be possibly unstartable.
Yeah.
Ford is solid, but again, in the standard league, I think you still want more upside at running back specifically. And you got 3 quarterbacks. If I don't know who's trading for any of those guys right now, but if Richardson or Fields has another huge game, take advantage. Maybe try to pair Richardson and Pittman.
Yeah.
Use Andrews. I would still try to trade one of those tight ends and then try to get a stud running back. I think that's what you should do.
Yeah, you need a stud running back for sure.
Yeah. Easier said than done, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Try. You never know. Then we got Adrian, Allegre, trade away Chase and Herbert to get Saquon and Kelsey.
Is that Justin Herbert? Khalil Herbert?
Guess it must be Justin Herbert, because I doubt anybody's doing this for Khalil Herbert and Chase. But also, he's saying he has Cousins. So it's like Cousins is startable. I'm assuming.
I think you have to do this then. Cousins is fine as your QB every week. You still have a Monroe. You still have Lamb. Now you get Kelsey, and then you get Saquon coming back. It hurts to lose Chase. I'm doing it. I just don't value QBs that high in a 1 QB league, especially when I have Cousins. If I have Cousins, I'm like, yeah, take Herbert. I don't care. I don't care. There will be plenty of weeks where Cousins outscores Herbert. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's been weeks this year already where Cousins has outscored Herbert. So, yeah, you're getting a top 5 running back. You're getting the best tight end. Yeah, I don't like giving up Chase, but I think it's worth it here. I would do it. I'm personally doing it.
Yeah, like, just straight up Chase, Herbert, Saquon, Kelsey. It feels pretty even. You're getting studs all around, right? It's like number one, an RB1, the tight end one, the QB1, wide receiver one. Okay. In a vacuum, I'd slightly prefer the Chase Herbert side, but I think this would make your team better because you're getting the tight end boost and then upgrading at running back, and you still have stud receivers, and you don't need Herbert per se. So I think you can do this because it will help your starting lineup. And then I'm almost positive because we had the truth. Remember, we did a super chat from the truth, but maybe you didn't hear it, or maybe I don't think there was another one. So let's go back to that if I can find it. So hang with us. Again, anybody who did put a super chat anytime last 20 or so minutes, we're catching up. But as you guys can see from the chat, we get like hundreds of comments and definitely a lot of super chats. So we're doing our best to give everybody their time and, give you a thoughtful answer. All right. So this is the one that I saw, Truth, unless you had a different one, but we did talk about this earlier, like a long time ago. Devontae Adams and Puka, who should be the flex? Flowers, Myers, Reynolds, Dobbs, or Wilson?
Yeah, it said Wilson. It's close between him and Flowers, but I went with Wilson against the Broncos.
Yeah, and I'm coming around on Wilson partly because of you this week, but
well, all right.
It does make sense. I mean, he's got that upside. I like Flowers, but like I said, my issue with Flowers is he hasn't been used, with those deep throws enough. He's just not getting as high quality targets. So I do like Flowers, but this week, go Garrett Wilson. All right, then the next one, Daniel Capskinen, Addison or Dotson, and then Waller or Higbee.
These are both close. I think I'll give Dotson the slight edge going against the Bears. Just because of the matchup. I mean, I do like the Vikings passing attack this week. They're at home. I don't think the Chiefs are suddenly not a good passing offense. Like, that was the Jets. This is the Vikings. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns this week against the Vikings. And Kirk Cousins is going to drop back 50 plus times like he usually does. But Chiefs do have a good secondary, even though they made Zach Wilson look like a competent NFL QB. So I think I still go slightly Dotson. And then I will say if Kupp doesn't play, then it's definitely Higbee for me. But if Kupp plays, I mean, how excited can we be about Higbee with Kupp, Puka, Tutu? Like, I mean, what's really left over for Higbee here? Like, Higbee will be nothing more than like Matt Stafford's like, oh my God, no one's open. Okay, there's Higbee. That's like all he'll get, right? He's not going to have very few design plays for Higbee. So,
yeah, very few first read targets. I'm guessing.
Yes. So, I mean, I guess if Kupp plays, I guess I still go with Waller. But if Kupp's out, I'll go Higbee.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dotson at receiver this week based on matchup between those two. Put Higbee in there right now. If Kupp plays, you can swap him out and hope Waller does something, anything. Joe with another one. Would you drop Rashawn Johnson or McKinnon or Moss for Ronnie Rivers? You talked about Rivers earlier. You like him better than those guys.
Yeah, I would drop McKinnon for him. Maybe even Moss. I mean, look, Ronnie Rivers isn't a guy like I'm like, you have to go at him.
No.
But I mean, are you ever going to, the only time, I mean, even, okay, let's say Isaiah Pacheco, hopefully this doesn't happen. Let's say he gets hurt this week. Do we even feel great that it's going to be McKinnon? Are we just going to see more CEH? like CEH has been kind of involved anyways, right? So
yeah, he's on the field at least.
Yeah. So I could probably drop McKinnon for Rivers.
Yeah, because the time McKinnon will be valuable in fantasy is the time that nobody will start him and you didn't know it was coming. So
exactly.
I would keep Moss for now if you can afford to, just because what if JT does get traded? What if JT does get hurt again? So keep Moss if you can. Don't drop him for a guy like that. But you can drop McKinnon. Travis Holt needs some help. Running back, my receivers are Brown, St. Brown, Ridley, Puka, Watson, Nico. That's pretty good. Would you trade AJ for Kamara and Swift, I guess, or Aaron Jones? I could do a 2-for-1 here.
AJ Brown. So you got a Monroe St. Brown. You got AJ Brown and a Monroe St. Brown, Ridley, Puka, Watson, Nico. So you'd have a Monroe St. Brown, Ridley, Puka, Watson, Nico. I mean, you'd still have pretty good wide receivers.
I think
mean,
the
if
logic
it's
is sound here, right? Trade one of those good receivers to get 2 running backs, but is it those 2 running backs?
if it's Swift and Aaron Jones, yes. Look, maybe I'm too high on Swift, but DeAndre Swift has basically only really played 3 games. I get it. He played week 1, but he didn't really play week 1. He's only played 3 games, and he's already a top 6 running back, I believe. Top 8 running back. If he had played that first game, he'd be like a top 2 or 3 running back right now. So I do it. Because it's like Swift has the look of that guy. He has that look. He has that look of this year's Josh Jacobs. I get it. Josh Jacobs wasn't on a new team last year, but he was like a good running back. Never got really the opportunity. Was left for dead last year, and then came out of nowhere and won people championships. That's what DeAndre Swift looks like right now. And he's behind a fantastic offensive line. Yeah, if it's Swift and Kamara, fine. I would prefer Swift and Jones, but if it's Swift and Kamara, fine. I just want Swift, honestly. Just give me Swift.
All right, so here's the thing. He said trade AJ for Kamara and Swift, and then it said Aaron Jones. What if it was I know you're not a fan of Kamara. What if it's Kamara and Swift? You're still doing it?
That's fine because I just want Swift. It's fine.
So as long as Swift
I still think Kamara is a playable, startable RB2.
Yeah.
Because any running back getting the volume is a playable, startable RB2 right now. It's week 4, and we're already at the point where any running back getting volume is playable. Like, I don't ever remember this before. Like, I don't ever remember it being this bad this early. Like, it feels like we're already at the end of the season for running back, and we're only in week 4. So I do this just to get Swift. And if the guy's like, I'm only going to give you Kamara and Swift, I say, fine. I really just want Swift. Like, I would trade A.J. Brown straight up for Swift right now if I needed a running back. Maybe I'm too high on Swift. But Swift has the look of that guy.
That I did not see coming. AJ Brown, man. All right. I thought I was high on Swift before. Okay, well, I think if you can get 2-for-1, I think you should be able to. AJ Brown coming off a monster game, 2 monster games, you should be able to get 2-for-1 for sure. So, all right, do it. Get Swift, and then whichever of those running backs you prefer, I guess. But yeah, I think you can do this. You got plenty of good receivers there. And then Cerulean Dog. Got looking for a flex if Kupp plays. Hollywood, Moss, pick up Gus, Tank, Pickens, Wilson. Pickens is on the waivers?
Man.
Okay. It says if no Kupp, would you start Hollywood at wide receiver 3?
Yeah, I think I like Hollywood more than all those guys.
And then I guess for the flex, would it be Moss or Gus, Tank, Pickens, Wilson? I think you got to pick up Pickens.
Yeah, I think you got to pick up Pickens.
I don't love him this week, but I would still play him over those guys.
Yes.
Bijan 18 is 1-3, despite having Lamar, Bijan, Jacobs, Hall, Jefferson. Man, how you 1-3? Wilson, Thomas.
There you go.
Maybe that's why. Dell Ridley on the bench. I mean, you got to swap Ridley in for Thomas.
Oh, well, this is why he just traded Diggs and Kyron for Jefferson and Hall. That's how he
just got Jefferson? Oh, but he had Diggs. Well, Diggs has been going off. And Kyron? I mean, I feel like you might have had some bad luck here. But anyways, okay. Traded Diggs and Kyron for Jefferson and Hall. Can't complain about that.
No, I can't complain about it. I think it's yeah, you can't complain about it.
And then any other trades that we could do here?
I mean, not really, because now you got. I mean, look, I will say after Garrett Wilson goes off this week against Denver, I'm going to be saying sell high on Garrett Wilson again. You're going to have another opportunity to sell high on Garrett Wilson. But I think he goes off this week, so don't trade him yet.
Yeah, and you'll be okay. You got Jefferson, and then Ridley as a wide receiver too, totally fine. You know, Wilson as your third, okay, but try to sell him, and then Deontay's coming back, so you'll be fine. You got Bijan, you got some high end talent here. I still feel like even with what you had, you should be 1-3, so I think you'll be fine. All right, the next one is all right, Clyde Allen with another one. But let me see. Was another comment. I think we're still talking about this 2 tight end thing here. Okay. Kelsey Andrews strategy. Here we go. So I got Andrews in the 4th round. Can flex Andrews any week. Has trade value all season. Okay, so I get that you have him, but if he has trade value, I think now's the time to take advantage of that, right?
But see,
So
here's
better than wide receivers.
That's the thing, because it's standard scoring, and I talked about it. If you haven't played standard in a long time, you don't understand how bad wide receivers are in standard scoring. Like it's ridiculous. It might as well just be called running back fantasy football because, like, in fact, let me look right now. I'll even look right now in standard scoring because I have it pulled up right here. You have Tyreek Hill is averaging 18. Justin Jefferson's averaging 17. Keenan's 17. I mean, they're not bad yet, but literally the wide receiver 11, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is averaging 10. So wide receiver 1 averaging 10 points per game in standard scoring. Like it's bad. And then you just everybody else, it's like 10, 9. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad in standard. And it's only going to get worse because when these guys aren't scoring touchdowns, their points drop a lot. So that's why I'm like in standard, I might keep those 2 tight ends because they are at least red zone threats. They're at least touchdown threats. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying like a guy like Pittman, I might start Andrews over Pittman, even though I do like Pittman this week because.
But doesn't the lack of PPR, doesn't that kind of hurt tight ends also?
Not really, because tight ends don't like. If we look at tight end scoring, well, I guess. I mean, Andrews hasn't been great. Yeah, he's at 11.
I mean, if you have a guy who's scoring touchdowns on the regular, Andrews hasn't been scoring every week or anything.
True.
I get with Kelsey because he always has touchdown upside.
It just hurts everybody but running backs. Let's just be real.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I get, trading for a wide receiver, maybe that's a lateral move in a standard league. But I think the thought there is in your format, Clyde, is you want to upgrade a running back. I think that's where on your roster, you're saying you could package like an Andrews and a Pittman and get possibly a stud running back. I think that's worth it.
Like look at a guy like here's Michael Pittman in standard scoring this year. 15, 5, 7, and 3. Like, come on. That's not even startable. And in PPR, he's had like what was he in PPR? He was good. He was good the first 3 games, right? In PPR, he's at 23, 13, and 16.
It's quite a bit difference.
Like he's not even startable in standard scoring. Like you can't even start Pittman. Like 5, 3. Like, you can't even start him. It's like it's ridiculous. Standard scoring. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. I know you can't. Whatever. It's your league. It is what it is. But it's just ridiculous. But anyways. Yeah.
So I get the logic of here getting Andrews versus a receiver, but I think the bigger point here is try to upgrade a running back with these guys because there's somebody out there who wants a stud tight end, and you got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Might as well, use that to your advantage.
That is true.
Sir Boomer in the house. He's been here for a while, I think. 12-team PPR. There is the squad. Any changes? Would you add Musgrave to drop Dobbs? Well, you don't need Dobbs if you got Tua.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So your tight end is Hunter Henry. Yeah, I would drop Dobbs for Musgrave. Even if you don't play Musgrave this week, I like Musgrave better long term. So I would drop Dobbs for Musgrave. Yes. Bench, Miles Sanders, Damian Pierce, London Sutin. I mean, I'm probably not putting any of those guys. Nah.
Your starting lineup is good as is, and it's good. But yeah. You don't need Dobbs because you definitely want 2 in your lineup this week. No need to change it. Emilio with another one. Gus went to my opponent a minute after you said to drop Moss for him.
No way.
That's aggravating. Okay, so here's the rest of the options, which is nothing. Okay, so nothing. It's impossible to trade. Why is it impossible to trade? Nobody wants to trade? That's a boring league.
I guess hold on to Moss then. Like, do I really want to pick up Breida over Moss and Latavius Murray? Probably not. Just hold on to Moss then. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh well. Samuel Piazza got offered Taylor for Jacobs.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Does this depend on how good you feel about Jacobs rest of the season kind of getting better?
I mean, he's getting the usage. That's the thing. He's getting the usage. So it's not like this isn't like a situation where it's like, why aren't they giving the ball? He's getting the usage. So I don't know. I probably just keep Jacobs. He's healthy. He's going to be a Raider. Don't have to worry about him. What if, what if JT gets traded to, like, I don't know, some horrible situation? I don't know where a horrible situation would be, but
you think if the only kind of team that would trade for a running back like him is if they think they're a contender. I don't even know what are the realistic trade possibilities for him. There's not that many.
There aren't.
To me, the only team
There really
that
isn't.
kind of makes sense now is the Packers.
Yeah, but even the Packers, it's like, I mean, I guess, but you got A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. I mean, unless you're just like, we just don't believe in these guys at all. I don't know if the Packers are there. Like, that's the thing. There's no realistic trade. Like, who's trading for Jonathan Taylor? Like, I know people are going to say the Chiefs. And that's good. I know that's dropping in the comments right now. Chiefs, or Bills, right? I know those are dropping right now, but it's not realistic. They can't. They're probably not going to be able to sign Jonathan Taylor to a big extension, which he's going to want. So they're basically trading Jonathan Taylor for this year. So,
yeah, there's no spot that really makes a lot of sense. Not that I can see. Anyways, and I go back about JT. So it's fine. I mean, I don't think you need to do it.
Yeah, it's not really doing anything for me. Very lateral.
In the pocket. Would you trade HN for Bijan?
I am still definitely taking Bijan. So if you're getting Bijan, yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
This is the definition. I think the actual definition of sell high. A guy that was picked up off waivers a couple of weeks ago has had 2 good games versus the number 1 rookie running back in this class who is going to be a generational talent.
Yeah,
look, exactly. I like HN. Trust me, I like HN, but Bijan.
Yeah.
Michael Fawcett is in the house. Just got in, sliding in. Houston Green Bay defense. At least we have finally one defense question. Okay,
it's got to be Green. It's got to be Green Bay, right? I mean, look, I know
Houston plays the Raiders in Vegas, not in the Sphere, and then the Texans get to play the Falcons.
I know. You look and you say it's the Falcons, but it's still the Houston defense. I mean,
Houston defense has been better because they got a defensive-minded head coach.
True. It is Desmond Ridder. I mean, I guess Houston. I don't know. There's no better options. Like, Washington's not out there. Detroit probably got picked up.
I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play, yeah, you want to go with Green Bay.
Well, yeah.
I think he's back. So I go Houston. All right. Let's go to Dominic D'Amato. Thank you very much. The super chat. We appreciate you. 1 point PPR, 3-1. All right. What do I do with Gibbs, Monty, Kupp, and Puka? Got the duos, the dueling running back and wide receiver here. Trade, keep, and start all 4.
I like that he does the trade, keep, and start for all 4. I like this. Is kind of fun. This would be like a fun thing to do. Like, talk about certain players, like kind of like trade, keep, cut or whatever, but trade, keep, start.
Yeah. All right.
Gibbs, I keep because I don't think Gibbs has a ton of trade value right now. You don't really want to start him. So Gibbs I keep. Monty I start. He's got a great matchup this week at home. Should have another big game. Kupp I start if he plays. If he doesn't play, I keep. Gonna say it again. Puka I trade. I'm not gonna trade Puka for anything. I'm gonna try to trade Puka for a proven stud before Kupp comes back. If I can't, then I'll keep him.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to keep Gibbs. I want to say trade for Gibbs, but right now is not the time to trade Gibbs because, his value's gone down. And then I kind of want to say, I think you have to start Monty this week, but then maybe you trade Monty, right? Because his value is going to be super high. Keep Kupp. Just keep Kupp. At this point, you're keeping Kupp, and then you're happy with Kupp. So, yep. I pretty much agree with you on all that. And looking at the roster here, you got Diggs. That's pretty nice to pair with Kupp. Hawkinson. Hopkins is your flex. If he's a starter and you're not listing him as your bench. Yeah, so you're very thin on the bench. You can drop Kareem Hunt. You can drop Gibson. You can probably drop Pierre.
He's it looks like he's flexing Akers.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. There's an issue here. Then, if that's the case, then you should be starting Kupp and Puka until you trade him.
Yeah, you gotta really hope Kupp is back so you can flex Kupp. I'm okay flexing Hopkins. He does have a good matchup this week, and
yeah, you can flex him at least, but you can't start Akers.
No, you cannot. I would probably put P Ryan. I'd probably put almost all these guys except maybe Kareem Hunt in over Akers.
Right, pretty much. And Kareem Hunt shouldn't be on a roster. So,
no.
Yeah, drop those couple of guys. Gibson doesn't have value. Hunt doesn't have value. P. Ryan, not really. And then just pick up some high upside receivers, guys that you could just throw in a flex in any given week. You know what I mean? Like a Josh Palmer type if he's still out there, someone like that. And a cameo from Roberto.
Oh, here we go. Roberto getting spicy.
He just right off the bat, he just comes in like
Why do I envision, like, let's say, you're at like a house party, right? Like an adult house party, not like when you were in high school, like whatever, dinner, friends. And then Roberto walks in and it's like, bam, he instantly just walks in the door and is like, something spicy just comes out, right? It's like, bam, right off the bat, we're just getting spicy now. Just comes in out of nowhere, not just saying the spicy thing. He's like, screenshot it. Like, I want this remembered.
All right. Well, hold on. I'm going to do it then. Let's see. Got it.
Screenshot
the timestamp.
I can screenshot it right here. I screenshot stuff all the time for our videos. There, I got it right there, Roberto. There you go.
Oh, I blinked. Oh, well. No big deal. All right. You got it. We did it. What do you think about that? Top 40, not top 40. Now, this is assuming spicy. He doesn't get hurt.
That's spicy. I think he'll still at least be top 40.
I think yeah, I still think so. But see, we're counting it week 5 on. You got it. Ben Morris, Puka for Chase.
See, this is why I say trade Puka. This is why I say it. I'm not telling you to trade Puka like for scraps because I think Puka is gonna, I'm not like Roberto over here, which love you by the way, Roberto, but I'm not like Roberto over here saying he's gonna be, not even top 40 rest of the season. Trade him for whatever you can get for him. This is why I'm saying trade Puka because people will give you Jamar Chase for Puka.
Apparently,
take Jamar Chase, please.
Yeah, guys, even if you are a Rams fan, even if you drafted Puka, you're like, look, I got him. Take Jamar Chase. Take Jamar Chase for him. Do it. Okay. Luis Becerra, Kupp, practice limited. Odds of starting this week.
50-50. 50-50.
That's
very non-committal. Very non-committal nice from me, just like Sean McVay.
Yeah. He's looking better every day. Yeah. I like what we've seen from him, but he's still got a little ways to go. We're gonna have to see how things develop, and we'll take it on a day-by-day basis.
Exactly.
Check back on Friday. That's when we'll really know.
Yes.
Probably nothing still. Let's see. Scott V made this trade. How do I do Monty and Addison for Godwin and Stevenson? Oh,
Plus 15 fab. I
and
like the
15
fab
left.
trades. I like the fab trades. It makes me chuckle. Makes me giggle a little bit. I think I like the Monty Addison side. I mean, I'm not like all in on Monty. I do think Gibbs will eventually start getting more work. But I think I just prefer Addison over Godwin long term. And I don't know if Stevenson's going to be significantly better than Monty long term at this point. So I think I like the Monty Addison side. The fab doesn't even really register for me. Sorry.
No, I prefer the Monty Addison side. And look, we've saying Monty might be a good sell high and Stevenson might be a good buy low, but you don't put the two together. Like when you're trading a guy who's been really good for a guy who's been really bad, like you trade for Stevenson by offering a guy who's been like good but not great, and vice versa. Like you're going to trade Monty to get a guy who's also really good because people think they're equivalent, like Puka Chase. So yeah, and Godwin, I get it. You know, he's put up bigger numbers than Addison. I'm not convinced Godwin's going to be better than Addison down the stretch. I know you agree with me on that too. So, it's fine. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like a big swing either way. If Stevenson bounces back, yeah, maybe you win this trade, but slightly prefer the Monty side. All right, so we are in the home stretch. We'll go on for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. We're almost caught up on the super chats. Working out very nice. Before we go, let's do our last few. If you got some important start-sit questions or waiver questions, maybe waivers not run yet, or trade questions especially, whatever you got for us, put it on there now because as soon as we get off, I'm going to go decompress and chill and maybe catch a movie like Shrek 2 on DVD. Starts it 10-man PPR Dynasty. Jimmy G, Jacobs, Ramondre, Sun God, Dotson, Ferguson, Flowers, T. On the bench, well, I'd put T on your bench. I don't think he plays this week.
Yeah.
Watson, Ertz, Downs, Campbell, Rice, Sharp, Gainwell, Eli, Akers, AJ Dillon, and Singletary. This is it's his dynasty. I was like, this is a deep bench. It's a dynasty league. So
yeah. You know what?
Wait, sorry. I hate to do this. This caught my. We just finished talking about Monty and sell high. Green Ranger.
Oh wow. Green Power Ranger showing you how it's done right there, ladies and gentlemen. Showing you how it is done. That is how it's done.
Okay. This is what we talk about. All right. But anyways, back to this. Look, I already said I'm not starting T. Higgins even if he's out there on the field this week. So I'm benching him. I will put in, you know what? I might put in Rashee Rice.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because it was between Rice and Downs for me. Rice gets a good matchup against the Vikings. Give me Rice. He's got the upside. Yeah, put Rice in over T. Flowers, Dotson, Sun God, Ramondre, Jacobs. Is there any other running back I would start over Ramondre? No. You got to go with Ramondre. Yeah, just put Rice in over T.
Yeah, I think that's the only move here. Well, maybe Ertz and Ferguson. I think we were saying Ertz this week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Yeah, go Ertz over Ferguson. Yes.
Yeah. So bench T. Don't trust him. Don't listen to what they say. Go Rice and then go Ertz at tight end. Nobody else on your bench, necessarily needs to be in there. Yeah. Wishful thinking just for 20. JT traded to the Bears.
Yeah, that would we. How would we feel about JT if he went to the Bears?
Yeah, that would be an instant sell. Steven Martin traded Jefferson for Puka and Waddle. You like that?
I can't say I like this. I don't.
Looking to upgrade at flex because he was flexing Judy. It's a 10-team league. It's half PPR. So you got, you're flexing Puka now, but that's if you're trading a guy like Jefferson, you should get a haul back. And
yeah, because even if Waddle, I do think Waddle will be better, but he's not going to be Justin Jefferson better. And if Puka does take a back seat to Kupp, even if he's still a wide receiver too, yeah. Yeah. I would have liked to gotten more. Like if it was Waddle and a better like a wide receiver I felt was going to be like an elite wide receiver rest of the year, like an AJ Brown, like a Sun
Well,
God, CeeDee
what if
Lamb,
it was
somebody like
Cup?
that.
Waddle and Cup.
Yeah, well, yeah, Waddle and Cup, somebody like that, sure. But man, for Jefferson, like, yeah, would have liked to gotten a little bit more here.
I mean, look, if Puka is close to what he's doing now, yeah, maybe you'll be fine. But yeah, I agree. Kind of would prefer to get a little bit more back. And then we got Hayden Park, Strouder Fields.
I'm gonna go Stroud this week. I don't love Fields' matchup on the road against Washington short week. Look, Fields may be better than Stroud this week, but it's not like Stroud will be bad. I don't think so. Just give me Stroud.
Yeah, go Stroud. Solid, no worries. Set and forget. Big Luscious, talk about a spicy trade. Would you trade Tyreek Hill for Olave and Eckler?
I think you have to. I think you have to because again, I'm gonna assume like if you're doing this, well, you're getting Olave, and look, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Olave isn't a big drop off from Tyreek Hill, but at least Olave is a stud wide receiver, and you're getting a top 3 running back probably next week. Like this is the kind of trade. Like if I'm trading Justin Jefferson, this is what I need to get back. Like I need to get back
Right.
an elite running back, and then
Right.
a very, very, very good wide receiver. So I think this is okay. Yes.
This is a perfect way to compare to the last one. Like you said, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, I mean, pretty close here. So this is the kind of offer you should get for a guy like Jefferson. This isn't like a Godfather offer or anything, but this was one you can feel good about because you're upgrading at running back and you're really not getting a big drop off. It's a drop off, but it's
Yeah,
not a
it's a drop off.
huge, massive cliff drop off at wide receiver, which
Right.
Puka could not be, or it could be a big drop off. Joe with another one. Bijan, Garrett Wilson, and Addison for Jefferson. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think this is enough too because again, I mean, well,
Getting Bijan. He's saying he has Jefferson. So would you give up Jettis for those 3? Getting Bijan, Garrett Wilson, and Addison.
I mean, I wish it was. I mean, I do like Addison long term, and maybe Garrett Wilson will be better. I wish you were getting just a better, like even if you were getting like a Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I think
Instead
it's
of
the
these 2
Wilson
guys.
part. It's a little sticky. Well, what do you think about taking this and then hoping Garrett Wilson does boom this week, and then flipping Wilson for a, DK Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk type?
Yeah, I mean, if you think you could do that, then go for it. Because I do still like Addison the rest of the season. I think he will be good. And you're getting that stud running back again. But unlike the trade we saw with because Olave, I would not trade Chris Olave for Garrett Wilson and Jordan Addison. I would just keep Chris Olave.
Right.
So in that other trade, you're getting a way better wide receiver than here you're getting 2 goodish wide receivers, and maybe Addison will be really good, and maybe Garrett Wilson will eventually bounce back or whatever. Maybe Zach Wilson, maybe they'll do something to quarterback. But there you're getting a stud wide receiver. So I would like this more if you were getting a Brandon Ayuk type or even a DK Metcalf type who isn't on the same level of Olave, but is good enough. I would like it more then. But I don't think it's terrible.
No, I mean, it's more about the quantity you're getting here. I mean, because Wilson and Addison should both be startable. And so if you're going to start both those guys and this helps your roster overall, because maybe you're really hurting a running back, okay, this might help your team slightly. But I would say if you do it, then yeah, if Garrett Wilson does have a big game, go ahead and try to flip him. We got Ethan Highland again. Good. Another defense question. Ravens, Patriots, or Commanders? You can't start the Patriots, I don't think.
I think it's got to be Ravens, right? I mean, Commanders against Bears are good, but Ravens get
The Steelers.
Steelers with a banged up Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. I think it's got to be Ravens, right?
It's got to be the Ravens. Yeah, definitely. Python back now. He's got a dilemma here. Got Gibbs, Hall, Chan, Algier, Jeff Wilson. Thinking of picking up Charbonnet during the Sunday games, dropping Dulcich. Wow, I did not know anybody still had Dulcich.
People still have Dulcich?
I mean, because he's not
Yeah.
even playing. Like he's. I thought he was on IR.
Like, why are you gonna wait till the Sunday games? Just drop Dulcich now and pick up Charbonnet. Like, why are you waiting until the Sunday games? What is happening on the Sunday games?
Yeah,
Neither of these guys are even playing Sunday.
yeah, you can definitely drop Dulcich, and yeah, picking up Sharp is a good idea. Let's see. He's saying we're too hard on Gibbs and Brees. He thinks that both Gibbs and Brees finished top 15. You see that happening?
I mean, they could, because look, top 15 at running back by the end of the season isn't really that great. It just isn't, right? Like, so if they stay healthy and they start getting more work, I mean, they could. They definitely could.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't see it for Gibbs because the volume isn't going to be there as long as Monty's around. And Brees, he's going to have to keep ripping off those big runs. You know what I mean? Volume is not going to favor either of these guys. So, and look, we're not down on them. We just thought they were being overdrafted, and turns out they were. So, but I'm not giving up on them completely rest of the season. All right, let's get to the last few. Let's see here. Michael next says he's invisible. Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Bez, what's up? Traded Kupp for JT. Interesting.
I mean, I probably still gotta prefer Kupp.
Yeah,
In a
I know we
vacuum.
usually say the running back, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen with JT? I think I would prefer Cup. You said he traded Cup for JT. If you got the JT side, it's not like you got robbed or something, but
Yeah,
also depends on the makeup of your team, right? What's more important to you?
sure.
You need a running back. That's fine. Alex Sanchez is 2-2, 12 team. Cooper, Judy, Javante, or B Rob for Pollard. So you're giving up Cooper, Judy, and let's say Javante. There's a big difference between Javante and B Rob for me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving up Cooper, Judy, and Javante for Pollard, I'm definitely doing that.
I mean, it's basically just like Cooper for Pollard, right? You're not starting Judy or Javante.
Yeah. Definitely do that. I'm debating if I do it for B Rob too. That's close. I mean, because Judy to me doesn't even count. It's like Cooper and Brian Robinson for Pollard. He's got Jefferson, Olave, Nico, Deontay. I might still do that.
Yeah, if it's B Rob, Cooper and B Rob and Judy for Pollard.
I mean, Judy doesn't even really count, does he?
Yeah, Judy doesn't count. You got Jefferson,
Like Cooper,
Olave,
it's like
Nico,
Cooper and B Rob for Pollard.
James Cook, and Connor, because you would have Pollard. You'd still have 3 startable running backs. So I guess so. I'd definitely rather trade Javante than B Rob, but still doable. Mark Hoffman is 1-3. Got Hurts, Ridley, Pittman, Olave, Bijan, Pollard, Laporta. Flexes Cook, benches Flowers, Higgins, JT, London, Sutton. I feel like this team should be better also. I think this team will be better. You got talent here. It's just it hasn't come together yet. So who to start?
I'll say it's PPR if I'm gonna flex Flowers over James Cook. But I think that's it. I'm leaving everything else the way you have it. But I'm flexing Flowers over James Cook.
Yep, that's the only change. Don't mess with anything else. You're good. And then at 1-3, I mean, you got Bijan and Pollard already. Is JT someone you start dangling out in trades?
Yeah, I mean, JT and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
You got Hurts.
Yeah, exactly. So, see if AR has a big game, you could trade him. You got 2 stud running backs already. Maybe try to upgrade, elsewhere at receiver or something. Though you do have Higgins kind of sitting on the bench. Your receivers are good too. I think you're fine. T bag. Ravens or Dolphins? Dolphins get the Giants. Ravens get the Steelers. Both terrible
Yeah,
offenses.
but I think I still got to go Ravens just because they're a better defense. They get pressure. Got to go Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Giants looked pretty god awful last week, but Steelers do too. So I would say, yeah, go with the Ravens. And then we got Marcus Shepard. 10 team, half PPR, 3 receivers. Fields, Burrow, Hill, Ayuk, Watson, Kupp, Flowers, Addison, Walker, Mixon, B-Rob, Warren, Laporta, Waller. Somebody offered Etienne or Pacheco or James Cook or Ayuk. Like, take any running back and give me Ayuk.
You got Walker, Mixon, Brian Robinson. Nah, I just keep Ayuk. If you were hurting at running back, then maybe. But you got Hill, Ayuk, Watson. You do have Kupp. Nah, I'm just keeping Ayuk here because you're good at running back with Walker, Mixon, Brian Robinson. You should be okay at running back. Yeah, I'm keeping Ayuk.
Yeah, Pacheco, no, not. And even James Cook, I like James Cook, but that's not enough. The only guy I would even consider here for Ayuk was Etienne, but I don't think this helps your team really. So, nah, keep Ayuk or ask for more. Ask for more back. Okay, we got. Look, always Ryder. I'm almost positive we answered this question like 2 hours ago.
Wait, is he spamming the chat again? Because he spammed the chat last week, and I had to put him in timeout.
Put him in timeout. I only didn't because they said that he couldn't super chat because he was like a kid, and so
that's fine. I put him in timeout, and then he apologized, and I answered his question, and we answered his question tonight.
Yeah, we already did answer it, so no more spamming or back to timeout. Sorry, that's just common courtesy.
Come on, we've answered your questions both times.
In rough times, there we go. Starting Zay Flowers as number 1.
Oh, as a number 1.
Okay,
right.
Has Higgins, but yeah. And Michael Wilson with Wandale on waivers.
I mean, you got to go Michael Wilson. You can't play Wandale Robinson.
Yeah. And then which tight end between Pitts, Musgrave, Ertz, or Jonnu would need to drop somebody?
We need to drop Pitts or Musgrave?
I mean, I don't think you can start Pitts.
No, you can't start Pitts, but do you just wait and hope Musgrave plays, or do you drop one of these guys for Ertz?
Well, I also don't want to drop Pitts because what if they bench Ritter and Heineke at least is serviceable? He's serviceable. He can get the ball to the tight end. I mean, then all of a sudden Pitts has value. So I don't drop Pitts. I'm fine dropping Musgrave. And then if you want to you want to stream like Ertz this week, I'm fine with that. Yeah. So start Michael Wilson. Don't risk it with Higgins. I would say start Ertz, but don't drop Pitts. Okay. Carl with another one. Carl Williams. OBJ is trash. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir Boomer firing back. Good night to everyone except for our. Oh, it's getting hot in here. All right. Trade Puka and Kincaid, Pitts, or Musgrave to get Bijan in Dynasty?
Yes. Come on. Are people this high on Puka in Dynasty that they're giving up Bijan Robinson?
I don't know who.
Like Bijan Robinson has to be the RB1 in Dynasty. I mean, Bijan Robinson was the RB1 in Dynasty for me as soon as he was drafted, but now he has to be the consensus RB1 in Dynasty, right? Like nobody. You can't put CMC over him in Dynasty. You can't put Brees over him in Dynasty. Like he has to be, right? Has to be.
Whoever's trading away Bijan Robinson to get Puka in Dynasty just needs to quit. Like,
yes, they need. Yeah, they shouldn't be playing Dynasty, honestly.
And if they're giving you the choice of like which young tight end do I want, like it doesn't matter, but give Musgrave, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. All right, Terry R. Should I trade JT, B-Rob, and Cooper for Henry and Chase?
Oh man.
Some blockbusters tonight.
We have had some blockbusters. I like it. JT, Brian Robinson, and Amari Cooper for Henry and Chase. So basically, it's like, okay, I'm taking JT over Henry. I just am. Is
Okay.
B Rob and Cooper enough for Chase? Probably not. This is.
I know. I think I might prefer the Henry Chase side.
It's kind of how I'm leaning because I don't think B Rob and Cooper's enough for Chase. And
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'll take JT over Henry, but it's not like Henry's gonna be bad. So yeah, I'm taking Henry and Chase. Give me Henry and Chase.
And this could be a deal that works out for both sides. You get two startable running backs with JT and B Rob. This is fine. I think I'd go with the Henry Chase side. Ryan Torres, flex James Cook, Addison, or Michael Wilson.
James Cook. I like James Cook this week. He's getting all the touches. Michael Wilson, I mean, if you have to, I think, look, Addison will be better, but I don't love him this week. It's not like I'm like, ooh, Addison week. So give me
Yeah.
James Cook.
Yeah, I don't feel a big Addison week. I'd go Cook too. And then stream Pats, Texans, Commanders, or Colts.
I'm going, I know Texans against Falcons, but Commanders at home against Justin Fields. I think I'm going Commanders.
Yeah, go Commanders. Unless you really feel Justin Fields is going to repeat, which he might.
I mean, didn't he still have like a fumble, an interception? Did they return he's still like took sacks.
Well, yeah, exactly. He still fell apart in the second half, and that was against the Broncos. So yeah, go Commanders. Jay Bricks, 12-man. He's 0-4 because of Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Partly because of Chase. Having Kupp on the bench doesn't help. Judy and D-Hop have done you no favors. And then those guys, man. All right. Stevenson, B-Rob, Javante, Pirine, Ferguson, and Ertz. All right. This team needs some help. What can we do?
I mean, the problem is Chase is not a sell high. He's a buy low. Judy has no value. You've held Kupp for 4 weeks. You're 0-4. Why trade him now? Like you literally have like it's like why trade him now? D-Hop has very little value. Dobbs maybe has some value. Downs and Johnston, not really. Like, yeah, I don't really see what you're gonna do here. I mean, unless you try to, I mean, your running backs are Stevenson, Brian Robinson, Javante Williams, and Pirine. You can't really trade any of these guys because
nope. I mean,
like I hate getting these questions and being like, there's nothing you can really do, but there's nothing you can really do. Like, I mean, you could maybe, I mean, look, if you could trade Kupp right now and get a very good running back and a very good wide receiver back, then maybe you have to because you're 0-4. Like, if you can trade Kupp and get, but I mean, you can't trade for Saquon Barkley because what if he doesn't play? You're 0-4. Like, if you could trade Kupp and get like a Travis Etienne and a, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, like something like that, where you're getting a stud wide receiver and a very good running back, then maybe you have to do it because you're 0-4. You can't run the risk of Kupp not playing again this week and going to 0-5, and then you're really, you need to win this week. So maybe you do have to try to trade Kupp, but only trade him if you're getting like a stud wide receiver, stud running back, paired with a very good wide receiver, a very good running back.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you could do like a slight upgrade is, in a lot of leagues, there's that one team, that one owner who just loves the young players and they just draft all the rookies and maybe say, hey, I got Johnston. He's going to be the next Mike Williams. And, Dobbs has been good and try to pair those young receivers and get yourself a decent RB2 type, guy you can start. But unfortunately, a lot of times with teams like this, Jay, you kind of just have to wait and hope it gets better because nobody's wanting Burrow right now. And you figure Burrow should be good. So just hope he gets good. And then Stevenson, you know what I mean? You can't trade these guys because their value is in the tank. And you might trade him away for nothing and then make your team worse. Because what if Joe Burrow does go back to being Joe Burrow in the second half and then you gave him away for, nothing? So, yeah. Good luck. Louis C. Have Debo and Ridley. Should I hold them or trade them?
Well, I don't know. You can't, again, I'm going to say Ridley's not a guy you should be trading right now because his value has tanked. I mean, Debo still has some trade value because I think people will give him a pass for last week. It's like, okay, he had that rib injury. He was good the 2 weeks before. But what are you really getting for Debo? Like maybe you're getting, again, maybe you can get like a Travis Etienne if you're really desperate at running back. I don't think you're getting like Tony Pollard or Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley or JT or Josh Jacobs or guys like that. So, yeah, I think I'm probably holding these guys. It's hard. It's hard to trade Ridley right now. He just had people are really panicking on Ridley.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm holding Ridley. Debo, sure, but I don't know what you could get that's worth it. Maybe Josh Jacobs if somebody's down on him, but that would be kind of it. I even like Ramondre. Is it worth trading Debo to get Ramondre right now? Probably
No,
not.
because I mean, you should be able to get Ramondre plus something else for Debo because
Yeah.
that's just because of where Ramondre's value is at right now.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
where his
maybe.
value's at.
But other than that, there's just not a lot of running backs, worth trading him for that are available. Giovanni, Casas, Watson, Dobbs, or McLaughlin at the flex.
Got to be Watson. He's
Yes.
got the upside. Got to be what can't start McLaughlin. Got to be Watson.
Yeah, definitely Watson for this one. And then Mark saying, you said I should trade JT away.
We did?
Maybe.
I mean,
we have to go back and check.
Well, then he also said this. I traded Walker and Muth for JT and Pitts.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I like that. I mean, I would prefer JT and Pitts. Look, say what you want about Pitts. I mean, it's not like Muth is some stud tight end that's been lighting it up, and he's going to be out a couple games. At least Pitts still has the potential. So if you got JT and Pitts here, I like it because I'll still take JT over Walker rest of the season.
Yeah, I would rather have JT and Pitts here. So if that's what you got, I mean, I'm not saying you have to trade JT, and I don't remember saying. I mean, look, maybe don't remember exactly the context here, but as long as you're getting comparable value, it's fine to trade JT. You don't have to keep him.
Yeah, if JT's like your RB3 or 4, and you can get like a stud wide receiver back for him.
Yeah,
everybody's worth trading if
for the right price.
Yes.
Josh Engel got a 2-2 team, a half PPR 12 team. Fields, Pollard, Kyron, Tyreek Hill, Ayuk, Andrews, Flowers on the bench. White, Myers, JSN, Dotson, Rashawn. Better RB2 thoughts, suggestions.
I mean, look, you got Kyron as an RB2. That's pretty good right now. I mean, will it be good long term? We'll see. But you got Rashad White on the bench. I think he'll be fine. And you got Pollard. You got Tyreek, Ayuk. You got Andrews. You got a stud tight end. You got Flowers. You got Myers on the bench. I think this team looks pretty solid to me for a 12-team league. I don't, I don't see anything that really. I mean, Fields, of course, if he, if he reverts back to the Fields we saw weeks 1 through 3, then yeah, you might have issue at QB, but everything else looks good.
Yeah, this is a good lineup. I don't see anybody else that you need to put in your starting lineup. I think you're definitely good this week. Thoughts better RB2? I mean, not sure how. I mean, no, I wouldn't mess with this team. I don't really think you need to. Mark again. One more thing. Would you start JT over Flowers now that he's
I'd probably go Flowers this week. I like Flowers. I like the matchup. JT is playing Tennessee. It's his first game back. Look, if you're playing JT at running back, I'm starting JT because there's just not a lot of running backs, especially with the bye weeks, that I feel better about than JT. But a wide receiver like Flowers, like if you're choosing a flex, give me Flowers. Give me Flowers.
Yeah. Again, I'm a little iffy on starting JT, assuming he plays this week. A bad matchup, might not get full run. So I think you're fine with Flowers. And then let's end on this. Speaking of, we've got Big Luscious. Another spicy one. Would you trade Stephon Diggs to get Austin Eckler?
This is a very fair trade. You need running back, take Austin Eckler. You need wide receiver, take Diggs. I mean, I probably slightly prefer Eckler because he's a running back. Again, I'm going to say, like, it's harder to find Austin Ecklers than it is to find Stephon Diggs. But this is a very fair trade. We're talking about like a top 3 running back, a top 5-ish wide receiver. So, yeah, very fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you need more? The stud running back or receiver? Well, most people need the running back.
Most people do need
it. It's worth it. It's fine. All right. And unless somebody slides in at the last second, which they tend to do, yeah, of course. That's what we're here for. Making the deal now. There you go. Wasting no time, but this is a good time because we are done. Before we are out, reminder to everyone still watching, before you get to Thursday Night Football tomorrow, again, I'm going to say it, if you haven't tried Underdog, this is the best time to do it. And I mean that because until tomorrow comes, right now you still have a couple hours left. If you sign up for a new account and you use promo code ENDGAME, you get a 100% deposit match up to $500. That means every dollar you put in up to $500, they will match it. You don't have to. You can go as low as 10, 20 bucks, whatever you want. Just make an account and use the promo code, and you're going to double your money. And then just for being a new user, you get the freebie. Justin Fields just needs a yard. And then you can take that and combine it with any other pick. If you check our start sit videos, each time we give you at least one pick that we like for that matchup. They change all the time, of course. So always go back each day and check to see, where it's moving as far as yards. They have so many choices. It's not just NFL too. College football, just wait till game day on Saturday. You're going to have hundreds of players to choose from. And MLB, if you're in the playoffs, WNBA, FIFA, everything, anything. So use promo code ENDGAME, sign up. And then it's also 100K Sunday. Again, they keep giving away $100,000 each week, which sounds crazy, but it's true. And this week it's a little different. 1,000 different winners. That's right. They're going to pick 1,000 different people who are going to win money. They got $100 each just for using the George Kittle pick. That's it. You just have to use it. Just make any sort of combination of picks using the George Kittle pick. Higher, lower, doesn't matter. So lots of ways to gain money just for signing up. So check it out if you haven't already. And then check us out again tomorrow, pregame, right before Thursday Night Football. We'll be on again, answer your last-minute start-sit questions, all your trade questions, and anything else you need. That's what we're here for. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.